back to the grand finals after 5 years. And of course, EECA making their international final debut after 7 years.
What a day for it then, ladies and gentlemen. Please join me in welcoming our MSC and EWC 2026 Grand Finalists, Yangon Galacticos and Team Spirit!
After 5 years, a new Burmese representatives return to the Grand Finals in attempt to write a legacy of their own.
7 years of blood, sweat, and tears. The effort pays off. The hard work shows results. And Team Spirit are the first ever ECA team to make an international final.
The past two MSC champions headed into the grand finals with a 100% match win rate. And today, Yangon Galacticos attempts to follow in their footsteps. Can lightning strike 3 times in a row in the land of dawn?
At M7, it was Team Spirit that ended Galacticos' run. Today, 191 days later at MSC, they have the opportunity to do it again and claim the championship title, both in one fell swoop.
Throughout this MSC, both these teams showed their ability to come out on top no matter the circumstances. And in this meta, they showcase excellent drafts and the cleanest of the cleanest gameplays.
So for our final time here at MSC at EWC 2026, let's bid our captains welcome. Please join us for our face-off. Teams, you may go already. Get set for yourselves, please, on your desks. Come on close, gentlemen. Face off into one another's eyes. Let the truth shine. Any final words from Yangon Galacticos?
Kulla. Have fun, guys.
There we go.
There we go. Captains, you may place your keys and once again meet in the middle for a handshake.
Let's get up for a handshake.
There we go!
History is about to happen, ladies and gentlemen. It all comes down to this. What will unfold before you over the next few hours will go down in MSC history. Our promise is simple today. You're about to see some of the best MLBB you have ever seen. Enjoy.
The final echo fills the land of dawn once again.
It was pretty cool for our journey. In our first experience in MSC, we go to the grand final.
Reaching the grand finals means a lot to the dreams of Myanmar. After seeing our flaws in M7, we are laser focused on what are the things that we need to adjust right away and understanding the meta and the patches. The good thing about the players are they are willing to understand things and they're willing to listen to what's really currently happening in every day. Yeah.
From the ashes, the Burmese rise to claim the crown.
Winning this MSC, we want to make a statement that we're not underdogs.
The dragons of the north have proved it. They brought the Sky Kings to their fall.
We had a rough start to the tournament, but we were able to bounce back. And now in playoffs, we're like in our true form. We overcome whatever problems we had. This is the first time we're going to play a grand final in the international scene. And that's why I think everybody is really happy and excited to play. I don't think there's going to be any pressure at all. The pressure is always on our opponent.
For the first time ever, there will be no major regions.
We are here to write our story. We are here to make the impression. We are here to win.
No PH, no ID, no Malaysia.
We expect us to win this finals and finally claim trophy for ECA region.
Current against Team Spirit, we are very confident to beat them. We are going to revenge them because we lost M7.
We give you all in, you give us the all in, we give us the best games that we can had. This is unfinished business. Looking forward to see them.
Myanmar team, they improved a lot. They made this journey to the grand finals, and especially their win against the Falcons. Coach Marvs, he wished us luck to meet in the grand finals. He was also really hoping to meet us there, so it's the last step before we can lift the trophy.
Esports can change life if you grind harder in each day. Don't let anyone destroy your dreams.
As it starts, sometimes the dreams, they feel out of place, out of reach. It was for the Sky Kings, it was for the Philippines, and even Indonesia couldn't get to this moment where Myanmar and EECA climbed to the top of the mountain. And one thing about championships, I've been in my fair share, it's lonely at the top. Everyone else has gone home. It's just you, what you've prepared, who you are, and especially who you are when the lights are bright, LaFell, because that's a different version of us that's asked from our game, from the world. When things matter most, and you can't shrug off defeat, when you have given it all and you've gotten here, how do you show up? Without doubts, without reservation. Yep. That's what these teams are set to answer in these 7-game series.
To answer that, we got to look at the fans, man, because again, both Yangon Galacticos as well as Team Spirit, they're far away from their homes, and yet people made this sacrifice. People came here. You can hear the chants. They're giving their energy. For one team is giving their spirit. Because here's the thing, this reminds me of how I and a lot of Malaysians felt back in 2024 when no one expected us to go to the grand finals. But the moment that came true, so many tears were dropped, so much emotions evolved out of that. And now both these teams, the people that have been supporting them are feeling the same thing. Some have waited for 5 years. Some have waited for 6. And now, finally, it's paying off.
And leading to this day, I feel like even just yesterday, these teams have already had a fair share of all these posts showing, extending support, passing through their own individual feeds. And I hope that is going to be enough boost, because whether we like it or not, we are indeed very far from their respective homes. And you can only count on so much to show up here on site. But the support you can and expect to receive from your very own regions, I'm pretty sure everyone's really paying attention to what's about to happen right now.
It tells a bigger story, and maybe that story is still just a glimpse of what can happen here. The ripple effects of $1 million passing between the 6 or 7 people on either side of the stage with the coach and these 5 young men facing off. It will have implications for their grandchildren. It will have implication for their grandparents. It will have implications for life. And as we do that and we set the stage, we have to focus down now into the micro, the draft, how these two teams who are so good and have played different ways now come in and try to work that strategy to get the edge here in the draft.
Well, right now we've got to talk about Yangon here. They're batting out the Valentina, very early ban, showcases that their first pick might be something that Valentina can, I would say, counter something like an Atlas, as well as I like this Harley band, because so far Team Spirit, when they do get that Harley, it enables them to play this double fighters. Something that I do have to look out for is that Barats, because again, when Kit Bomba gets the Barats, it's a little bit too much. So I don't know whether they're gonna answer that or they're gonna steal it away.
And at the same time, I feel like they just really want to secure Kaize and his stability in mid, because I feel like the Harley will make things so much more difficult for him positioning wise. And he's been very fluent in heroes like the Eudora, Gord, heroes that would really just want to have an easier time finding position. Apart from that, it's maybe the juice in, but considering the amount of heroes that are actually open, I agree. But they actually take out the Atlas alongside the Valentina, so there could be a different game plan here for Yangon in first pick.
I think they are opening up the draft just a little bit here. Either they're going to take away the Belleric, making it so that they have the only S-tier roamer there. But I like that you shout out the Zushin, because the Zushin might actually work out, considering that Team Spirit, they might still go for 4 melee heroes and just 1 range hero. So that's a good shout, Brick. Now, the Zushin gets banned out. Team Spirit was able to read out a draft.
Yeah, so at this point, the Marcel is going to be left open for Yangon, which I feel is going to be real great if Spirit want to focus on their teamfight prowess. As the Poketo is actually still open for Hiko to pick up here in this part.
We've seen Blink have, I mean, just one of the best performances on Rome that I can remember in my only 2 weeks of watching MLBB. But I do think that this Marcel is a different approach. We saw the depth of his ability to go to different stages and really force the Rome bans and make the other Rome on the other side uncomfortable. Now he's just taking the best one.
And I feel like because there's a chance that Team Spirit is going to have 4 melee heroes, it does make it so that it's Marcel can actually get maximum value. There's a good chance, even if he doesn't catch all of them with the golden hour, even the Platinum Snapshot is just going to be good for that small stun. But now the Barats as well as the Hirara, Team Spirit is already starting off very strong in their ban.
Yeah, I don't know if part of them is just really complacent that Yangon is likely not going to pull off a Paquito Gold anyway, because I don't think Sanji has ever gotten his hands on a fighter gold lane. So the possibility of them still getting that is very high, and you see it right now. Claude is going to be locked in by Yangon. So the Paquito possibility is again still available for Spirit if they want to lock in their side lanes right now.
It's a very good composition in the Uranus and Marcel. You've got Lockdown, you've got Comfort for Sanji, Blink's on a top tier hero, but you got to look at this Paquito, Hirara, and the Barats. I mean, it's arguable that the Barats might be the most contested, most valued pick between these two teams.
Oh yeah, for sure. Speaking of, Brick, today you can, be the analyst, you can do the tell us, or you've been calling this picks very well. So now for Team Spirit, either they get rid of the mid laners or get rid of the junglers, because as of right now, I kind of feel like there's no real threat in the jungle for now, so they might just go for mid. The only question is, what are they going for? Instead, they're batting out the Guinevere, trying to make it very difficult for Han to really get a good pick.
So they're looking at YG just probably playing around the Claude instead, if that were to be the case, because it feels like a Guinevere is a more futility.
No, because I like this ban because they understand if YG pick up something like a Yi Sun Shin, a Ling, that's going to take so long and they're going to lose so much pressure. And the meta right now, you need immediate pressure in the map.
Which I think will accelerate what Spirit could do with their lineup, because they're all on fighters. They have pretty much a very decent lane matchup for the sides, at least based on the first 3 picks that we're seeing from them. So if they just really want to limit the options for Yangon to at least spread out and create the space for Sanji here, I think it really works.
I do have to say, if Team Spirit just wants to go much faster, they can even go for something like a Selena.
Oh yeah.
The bad thing about that is that their wave clear isn't going to be great unless they pick up a gold laner that can, basically clear faster. But here's the thing, if they do pick up a Selena, I think Team Spirit is just going to end the game pretty quickly. And now even the Lucas gets banned. Now, we've only seen one Lucas so far. Didn't actually do that well, but hey, maybe in scrims it's just something different.
Yeah, and they're probably digging deep because of the Valentina ban again.
By the way, that was in Bahasa, but they basically say, Kid Bomba, you're the best.
Oh.
In case anyone wants to know what
so we have a lot more international fans now.
Yeah.
For Spirit and Yangon. Oh, then the Cho gets taken out as well. And Spirit steal away the Eudora. So the only comfort, at least based on this tournament, that's available for Kai's is the Gourd, which I don't think is going to be a fun hero to play here in this lineup.
I don't think so. Maybe something like a Kimi so they can pair well with the Marcel, but even a Kimi, I think will have a very bad time here. Do they want to play range? Because if they do, something like a Farsa might still be okay, because the Hirara can jump onto you, but hey, you cross that bridge when you get there. Yeah. But speaking of the Eudora pick, I'm 50-50 just because there is a Uranus there, so you can basically make it so that Eudora makes a mistake. But at the same time, you can time it whenever the Claw wants to go in and then just stun them up and then kill them very, very fast.
I guess Spirit are just relying on their combo burst damage, because at this point they're looking at Eudora, Paquito, Hirara. They can pretty much deal with any tanky hero if they get to a point where they've scaled enough in the game. But they do indeed lock in the Gourd alongside a Suyo. Yangon, it's always a Suyo last pick that you feel is kind of just them being forced to pick it up, but if they make it work this time, that's a great start for Yangon.
Well, here's the thing. As the draft progresses, we remember in the interview with Eterna where he could basically say that we have better drafts, and for now, I kind of got to agree with it. How do they get Barats, Paquito, Hirara in the first 3 picks, and then pick number 4, they still get the Eudora? Like, this is an insane draft to get for this current meta.
This is like what Onyx got in the last game.
In the last game against Falcons, yeah. And even we were like, wait, how did Onyx get that? That was no way another team is going to get that. But hey, c'est la vie, here we are. And then last pick is going to be Jin.
Whoa.
So talk about trying to accelerate the game.
Okay.
This is kind of like almost no range. Eudora has range, but it's mid-range. I'm liking Spirit's draft. This is the kind of draft that says like, you know what, Grand Finals, we're going all in.
Yeah.
I love it, guys. This is a big one. Marcel giving up. You see the Claude early pick, the Suyo, the Gourd for Kaize. Something that just feels familiar for YG. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And of course, Team Spirit say, we'll give you those. We got what we want. We're bombastic over here. Kid Bamba trying to lead them into a Game 1 win. But Undying might have something to say about that in the EXP lane. It's your grand finals here at MSC, a best of 7. And it's time to send it over to our casters, Mirko and Gideon, to get us started.
Thanks so much, Rain Day. Today, we bear witness to history in Mobile Legends. For the first time ever, 2 regions, not from a major, have made it all the way to the grand finals here at EWC for the Mid-Season Cup 2026. And by God, this is some life-changing moments. The money that's on the line, the series of full BO7.
It's a Cinderella story for both sides. YG finding a way to make it back to that top 2 after seems to be forever. Sunset Lover and Team Spirit, though, with Saul. The journey started all the way at M1. So, hey, we have that first blood rate comparison. We know that Spirit love to get it going quicker. But Yangon, they're actually still the ones that actually are the more active teams when it comes to just brawling.
TS want to keep it hot and heavy as naturally as they do because of the way that they play the game. Not to mention, they're running the double fighters. So far, Hiko's had an outstanding win rate here as his secondary fighter gold. But I think this game really just boils down to how does Yangon Galacticos wombo combo with each other. We've seen many times where Gord, even within the early stages of the game, if the combo ain't clean, you're not going to be able to find anything. And that's going to be an early flicker coming out from Sawo's side. No punish here for Yangon, but that's a big resource down.
Absolutely, man. We gotta also take into account the fact that Marcel has been left open, picked up by YG. And we saw in the 3rd place match earlier how big this Marcel could play into the game. Was able to stop a lot of these slow-ranged opponents. Back in that match, Onyx versus Falcons, it really stopped the Hirara as well. So YG are utilizing that, really just using Blink as a way to actually zone people away, trying to take that XP crab. It's going to be Han who actually secures it. Ying, caught in the CC lockdown, has to purify out.
Yep, you can see a lot of respect coming out from both of these teams. We're really coming back at it. We're seeing the TS now taking a lot of the space here, forcing Yangon back just before the turtle. They want to make sure they get that first position really, really quick. And Kais understands that, hey, I need level 4. Without it, this ain't going to work. So they're going to back off, make sure that there's no damage on their side economically, and make sure that they clean these lanes back up. Because the next thing they have to worry about is Sawo hitting level 4.
YG have studied Team Spirit's game. Spirit just yesterday against Onyx in that crazy upset victory. They were able to take control of the game so early on through pickoffs, through finding tempo on the map, and YG, they don't want to fall for the same trap. They know, all right, we have a Suyo, we have also the Gourd and the Claw. They can play it late. Ying, no Purifying Bomba, puts out on the temp there with the Dance is welcome. Can't find it, but again, it's just YG trying to survive in lane, especially here up top.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Okay.
They summoned it really, really early on. Luckily, at the very least, while this is happening, look on that top side. Blink is already in position and trying to alleviate some pressure onto Sanji, who's being denied his level 4. I mean, these are the small incremental leads that they're looking for, right? And that's what TS wants to do with the double fighter comp. Build these small leads and then eventually cause it to get that big cash out at the very end, usually coming down to the 3rd turtle, closer to the very first Lord, and really taking the reins from that point onwards.
Sunset also had a fantastic performance just yesterday on the Eudora, on all the mages actually. Flickering out of some crucial sets away from Onyx. YG, this is one of the first times we actually don't see a big setting to on Blink, right? Mainly because of the Marcel. So it's also going to be a big question mark because the only other time we've seen Blink on this Marcel was all the way in the group stage. It's been a while.
It's true. If we're looking at it, you know, in boxing terms, I think the best way to describe it, it's Southpaw versus Orthodox, right? And Yangon, they understand where they need to play defensively. make sure that they don't set up potential dives to their gold laners. But in the meantime, because of their defense, now the dive.
Purifier with the Blazing Duet actually gets away with the BMI as well. Now it's the Golden Hour plays down. I'm gonna go for the Blade Surge and the Soul 7, but it's misplaced because the Golden Hour blink. Taken low, is taken out. Straight up by Sunset Lover. Zaur's able to get the targetable dive frames, and he gets away in time as look at Sawo.
No punish there. What could have been a really great combo, a good one-for-one trade, ended up falling into the hands of a profitable win for TS. They're doing it again!
Shortcut of the Crash Course. Kaiser has to flicker out, and it's Team Spirit again with the early relentless pursuit on YG's jungle.
That's the beautiful part about this composition, right? They're using that shortcut not as a means to just engage, but also control tempo. And now Ying is in a lot of trouble. He still has his Purify, but that's no consecration.
Consecration, but it is early, even through the Purify. Sour picks up a kill, now goes straight into the neutral objective. That's going to be free for Team Spirit.
Look, in the meantime, he's already trying to proxy this wave, and Sanji, he's well aware of this, right? Again, defensive against aggression, and Yangon understand that they have to play very, very defensively for the first couple of minutes of this game. Arguably now, with a 2-kill lead and the 2.3k deficit, that probably bought them an extra 4 more minutes on TS's side. So we're expecting probably around the 10th to 11th minute when Yangon get into position, unless we do see a huge turnover fight.
That turret conversion down below. Bomba, man. Just like yesterday, Gideon, he's conditioning YG to see these misses, to see these whiffs, and then all of a sudden he's going to pull off a crazy dead center flicker.
That's the beautiful part of it, right? Get the early conditioning down, because technically there's nothing to fight for on the map as they're trying to get Sanji out of this lane, but they can't seem to do so, especially with Hiko. He's playing this really, really well. He's pressuring life totals, he's maintaining control. Bait! Doesn't connect.
Yeah. Good reaction on Sanji. Could have had his Purify out taken. Spirit definitely want to play around that now, and Sanji's going to recall. That means Hiko will again be able to find a tempo up top as now they look for a cut on mid. Kaize has the flicker back up in 3. Spirit will play it slow, and look at Bomba,
They're playing so well, and now they want to collapse down on this mid-tier 1. If they don't get it, they might be able to contest for this purple buff, but I don't think they have it. As we look towards bottom side, even Zaur making sure that Sanji feels the pressure. Oh!
Shortcut's going to be dropped down. Bomba.
Okay.
Goes for the chop. Purify out. Golden Hour catches 3. And the Mystic Gush. Not too sure about that. Bomba's going to take hit all the way through. He's going to soak it in. No problem.
Yeah, we both saw this was going to be somewhat of a nothing fight here. No real commitment on either side, and more importantly, just not enough items to actually cut through all the base HP coming in from TS. They are still in the phase where it's their turn to play the game, and Yangon have to just defensively and honestly be really creative with these small little cheeses that Spirit have taken full advantage of, whether it's in-lane baits, the pressure that they apply, and also the information that they give has been immaculate. Free turtle take.
Free everything. The first 2 kills were free. There was nothing to retaliate against it. The structures as well. And a mid lane blink bursted down. Oh God. The Marcellus looks so untouchable. Just being pick or ban every single time, and wins. Oh God. Even when we see it open, Gideon, when we see it pick, it dominates so early. But when you fall behind on it, especially against this burst comp, man, is he squishy.
Yeah, they're taking everything into condition here, right? They're making sure that whoever opens the map gets punished. Adeptness welcome connected.
Big chomp into Sunset Lever with the ball. Lightning straight up with the Thunderous Wrath as well. Killing Street picked up as Zaur's able to get the immobilization. The blink will be zoned away just by the shortcut. Another health bar to deal with at the bottom lane. It will be a minion wave to play with. Team Spirit converting on these objectives. And YG cannot respond. That's a 4-level lead. Almost. Han gets sent.
They're just letting this happen, unfortunately. They're not using the Golden Hour as a creative tool to kind of retain some semblance of control over their waves.
Zaur gonna go for the solo. Oh, under turret. Almost got it. Has to force Han away. Blink! Burst it down. That lethal ignition.
Connects, and it's good. Sanji, he's in trouble. He has to use the Purify alongside with his Blazing Duet to stay alive. Detna's welcome connects again. Combo's good. Oh, wait!
Good Mystic Gush and the shutdown. Finally, YG. It took him 8 minutes to get on the board.
finally clapped down onto the backliners here. But at the end of the day, yeah, sure, it's a bit of a shutdown. It goes to Kai's, but that was going to be the main bullet anyways for Yangon. So TS don't mind this so much as we look at the items, right? It's a lightning truncheon in comparison to just a glowing wand. The item difference here allowing TS to actually be stronger in the majority of the scenarios. But not to mention, if we start looking down towards everybody else and that lead coming from Zaur, that is ridiculous. He's going to get that BOD in no time.
Wow. He might be 5 levels ahead by the time he clears out his jungle. 9 minutes in, he might be able to get that record again.
Oh man, it's going to be the fastest level 15 we've seen in a while. And the Lord is up, but look at TS. They're not rushing it straight away.
Nope.
Denying, not only denying information,
he's 15,
but they're setting up like a great net on the side lanes. Oh,
Sunset instant flicker away from Blink. Take a look at Sawo up top as well. It's free. They can't react to it unless the golden hour gets placed down, but Zaur's able to get it, and now into the Deathless Welcome. The big chop over it, straight to Zaur with a BOD.
Yeah, the combo not exactly landing, but it's good enough. They've zoned Yangon completely away from their neutral. With this Lord take, I want to see how much they can actually get off of it, because this is where it gets scary, right? As much as Zaur can dive underneath the turret, most of the time, if a composition like this wants to get an inhibitor against a full 5 on the opposite side, despite the 8.2k lead, it does come with its risks. A lot of it just comes down to juggling the aggro from the turret to make sure that everybody can absorb the damage and spread it out evenly rather than one person just taking it. But worse yet, it's about Kid Bomba landing the Detonator's Welcome to really set the tone.
Big chomp down again. Purify's still available though, he's just trying to bait it out, but Ying stays patient with it. Pops into Consecration, Sunset Lever coming in as well, the Golden Hour will be able to find it. Blink slow, Hiko goes in, a flicker out from Blink. And Ying's just trying to hold. Holy Shield already depleted now as Zaur walks up to zone. Turret gonna go down, up top. Purify as well, baited out by Ying.
Yeah, they're getting everything out of them. And unfortunately, every single time that Ying gets hit by the Detonator's Welcome, it almost trades ult for ult, and they don't mind this. This is actually good.
Hey.
Oh!
There's the gush on Bomba. He's taking that 2 damage. Blink goes down. Bomba stays alive. It's Sawo now with a crash course and a shortcut in the mid lane. Sawo taking low. Flickers out of the way, but Hiko is making quick work of that turret. Up below, Sanji!
He's done it. He's already turned this around at least. He's taken something back at the bare minimum, but they can still chase this actually. Ying making sure that Hiko can't close the distance. He's forced to flicker back out, and Zaur now there. He's waiting just in case they need a secondary disengage. Considering everything that has happened in this game, yes, it is a bit of a shutdown, going over to the right targets, in this case, Sanji, but the lead is already too wide. 8.9k, now turning into a 9k lead, 11 minutes into this game. This could be a make it or break it on Lord side, and with 2 missing inhibitors on both side lanes, there's just no way, not even the spawning of the Lord RNG will work into the favor of Yangon. It's going to be very difficult. We've seen so many forced mistakes here.
But YG were able to get a few things, right? They got a kill. It's not enough, I agree. I mean, that's for sure a win for Team Spirit. It's a top lane and bottom lane base turret. They're gonna have far lane on top of that. But it's something to work with. It's a Sky Piercer stack as well for Han. So we have to take that into account right now.
It's 1 stack though.
It is.
Unless we see
and
the
he's
next...
3 levels down.
He is 3 levels down. Like, we know for a fact that this Lord is pretty much impossible to take, so they have to play for the fight. And if they are going to play for the fight, I'm looking at Blink and Kai's here to make a combo play.
Whoa, they use the Mystic Gush. Chomp down, doesn't land on anybody. Kaize gets away from the missiles just in time as the bottom lane comes pushing in. Sanji sent down below to deal with it as the Lord spawns up in 7 seconds. It's gonna be, the pullback, the Purify out already. Crash Course coming down and the Thunder's Wrath. Now it's Blink in the back. Sawo gonna be taken low, taken out of the fight as Han picks up the second Sky Piercer of the game. Sanji with the jump. Oh, bursting down by Zaur.
Now, can't get any more than this, and they've already got the last Purify down as Blink is trying to actually disengage the rest of their composition. But Team Spirit played that well, and unfortunately for Ying, just a little too early on that Purify. If he held it just a little bit longer, he might have survived it, but it's a difficult composition to deal with right now. Just look at this, right? As everybody's able to get their damage down, as soon as that Purify is timed out, that's when Sunset Lover is going to let that ball lightning rip. The rest of the composition here also very ready for Sanji's re-engagement as well. So TS, they've covered all their bases. They are playing very good game 1.
So clean. And YG, you can clearly see they're getting desperate. They're making these plays happen. They think they have their power spike, which is true. But the thing is, Team Spirit with the 10,000 gold lead, they kind of built past that power spike, the initial power spike.
Yeah, and the worst part about it is the frontliners have opted to go for the Chastised Pauldron to ensure that it's really, really difficult to actually chunk them out in key critical moments here. And now they've got that lore pushing on that top side. They're synchronizing the waves as well, and they want to have a delayed wave down on bot side. TS now on the attack.
Into the mid lane they go. Sour knows there's no Purify on Ying. 8 seconds for it to come back as the Rose Gold beater gets built up by Sour. The winner crown is ready. Hiko with jumping forward. Sanji doing some damage over on Hiko. Bomba's still there. Golden Hour catches Sunset Lover just in the brink of it now as the Mystic Gush comes around.
It's good, and they want to go for a little bit further. Hiko wants to get right on top of Han, but they cleared the waves already. They need to reset. They have one more opportunity and one more wave to deal with.
Massive Mystic projectile landed on Sunset and Bomba. But luckily for Spirit, Sanji did not have anything to capitalize on it. Team Spirit, though, again, classic Spirit, classic EECA, that discipline, playing around these structures, objectives, backing away straight up, and then slowing the game down again. They're never letting YG touch their comfortable tempo.
Yep, but they've also got one more opportunity with their 10k gold lead, right? By the time we see Yangon hit 42k, we're expecting both Han alongside with Sanji, arguably 3 to 4 items onto Kai's at this stage of the game to be complete. They really, really need these items. And Sanji finally gets the extra range with the Malefic gun. He needs that crown, unfortunately. We've seen many places where he actually gets really deep with the Blazing Duet onto multiple targets, but without that winner crown, he is going to trade himself off, which is not something Yangon can accept right now.
And to win the crown from Kaize as well there. Picked up for him. Radiant armor for Ying. So a little bit more defense, but you could clearly see that big diff in gold between the XP laners. Bomba is just a big chunky boy.
He's thick. He is thick. And he's also taking the winner crown as well, just in case a scenario like that happens again, right? They gotta be careful, because at the end of the day, it's still going to be up to Kai's to land that Mystic Projectile. If it hits on multiple targets, that's great, but the setup really just comes down to Blink. Han, at this stage of the game, has to be the finisher, and Ying needs to start peeling, but we see every single time the sequence is the same. TS will start to target Ying first, get his ult out. Maybe if he doesn't have the Chastised Pauldron ready to go, even better. Then immediately start moving towards Kai's position. Disrupt the anchor. Once the anchor has unhooked from the bottom of the ocean, the whole ship is going to start going out of whack.
Still going to be difficult, though, again, for... Wait a second, Blink. No. There's a projectile thrown out as well. YG, they really got to get control over this top side. TS have done such a good job at denying it away from them, and now it really just seems like Team Spirit will be able to take this one for free with Sanji showing up in the top lane.
They're trying to punish this.
Uh-oh, Blink. With the conceal in the back, is able to find two with the golden hour. Now the chomp down comes in, the shortcut in the back line is able to get Sour in a good place. Hiko with the jump, Bomba with a crown. Blazing coming around, and Sour is able to get the targetable 2 iframes as Hiko walks up again.
And now Ying trying to at least delay them. Sanji is on the run, but Han should be able to go down. Here is Sour in the 1v1 and wins it out.
He gets immortality, still able to chase away right now. Can he get Sanji down? He walks up, base the BMI back again, and Sanji's thrown away from the base. Team Spirit secure game number 1.
Woo! Clean, tactical, all beautiful plays coming out for the side of TS Yangon in the southpaw stance. Cannot just play defensive against them. I don't know. It might be a moment where their drafting has to force a scramble.
They have to.
It seems like the only way Yangon Galacticos can actually start to get the tempo and start falling into these positions, because if they are going to be playing for really difficult wombo combos and power spikes against a team like TS and what we've been seeing so far, either you disrupt them on that red side, take it away from them, or you're going to have to keep it real simple.
And it's as LaFell said in the panel, right? He mentioned it already. How are you going to give the Barats, Irara, and Paquito all to Spirit in the first phase? They need to be able to take some of these heroes away. I understand, the Marcel's Prio.
Yup.
But that's where you have to go back to the drafts again and the bans. YG, I think, put too much respect on Team Spirit's picks that beat Onyx. Valentina was banned out. The Atlas and even the Harley, they need to try to open up some of these picks. Yes, those picks are great, but I think there are picks to deal with it.
Absolutely. And let's also not forget that second half of the ban. It's very telling for both of these teams what they are genuinely worried about. They're genuinely worried for the side of Team Spirit. Hey, we're getting rid of things like Cho, things that can force us to change our battle spells. We want to always have flickers in our double fighter composition so that nobody feel safe at any point in the game. And as we see these combos get dropped down, that shortcut really allowed them, giving them multiple access points into these fights. But we'll let our panel break it down for y'all here for game number 1.
Thank you, Gideon. Mirko, that was a game that set the tone for what this best of 7 could look like. And not only did it showcase how valuable it is to have seen these semifinals and seen the way these teams came into it. Team Spirit with a 3-0, continuing now 4 games in a row that they have won. It also shows where maybe Yangon Galacticos' heads were, trying to over-predict, trying to see the things that worked or didn't work against Onyx and see if they could shut those down right away. But it ended up giving too much too early to EECA's representative, and now they are in the deficit, having to claw themselves back. Still plenty of time to do so. Rain Day, Brigida, and LaFell to break this one down on the panel. Brig, what'd you see?
I still cannot get over the fact that we saw the Paquito Hirara, and why are you copying me?
You always copy me. Why can't I copy you?
Okay, you can. The Hirara, Paquito, and everything else. Even the chip came in as a surprise, but it complemented the idea of the lineup so well. It took time. It took time for Yangon to actually hit their spikes, and at this point, if this keeps going, it might be Spirit with a much cleaner record in the knockouts finishing off this tournament.
I mean, honestly, this is a good showcase of the new and old, because what Spirit is showing is the new meta, the current meta. But honestly, what YG showed is reminiscent of metas of the past, right? Where we got the Suyo, the Goret, as well as the Marcel, even the Claude. This is all good in the previous patch, but now they gotta, speed things up. Where honestly, like our illustration moment is just gonna be about how big of a difference the new style of playing against the old style of playing.
Well, sometimes the Marcel shows up and it's, whoa, you let us get Marcel. And sometimes it shows up and it says, well, you get Marcel, we get Paquito and Barats and Hirara. And, at this point, it doesn't even matter that you have Marcel. And that's what happened in this game.
I would say the draft that YG has a very bad relationship with Team Spirit. It looks like Team Spirit, they got like abusive parents, and then Yangon, they just got the abused kids.
Oh my God.
That's how mismatch it was.
That's one way to put it. Wouldn't be my metaphor off the top of my head.
It wasn't the first one that I came up with, but it's the funniest one.
Okay, yeah, it is funny. Again, not the first word I used to describe that. It wouldn't be
I
off
think
the
you gotta
top
change
of my
your
head.
description for it.
It's the one that grabs people's attention.
Okay.
I wouldn't mention grabbing after that as well, because that feels like you can get into the same.
This is just the story of my life, everything I say. Damn.
Okay, so guys, you have a lot to break down. Game 1 gave us a lot of answers on the side of Team Spirit. They're the real deal. Zauer, Egoist, Kid Bamba, you mentioned Sunset Lover and Sawo, of course, Hiko, trying to make a statement here. LaFell, what was the statement you saw that was made by Team Spirit in Game 1?
Now, hold it.
You could do it if you want.
Yeah. Bawaski. All right, thank you very much. It's nice that you understand Malay now. So we got to look at the draft, because there's a whole lot wrong here. And let me explain as well, first things first, what I mean by having bad relationships with each other. Because we're going to start with one of the more important picks here, which is the Suyo. The Suyo being the jungler is definitely one of those picks where it's going to move the map. It's going to move the tempo, right? Now, one of the problems is Suyo has been adjusted before, where he had armor as well as magic resist when he is in his immortal form, but they removed the magic resist. Now, the problem is we got one of the best mage bursters here, which is the Eudora. It makes it so that if he goes in, he dies. That's why we don't see him really do much. And it's honestly the same with the Claude. The Claude goes up against the Eudora. Also, he goes in, gets stunned, and then the damage is just going to be too much, and then he's gone. And that's not over yet. We got to talk about the Marcel. I play the Marcel. Here's the thing. He gets stronger when the Thunderbelt stacks actually gets to stack up. But before that, he don't want to deal with burst. He don't want to deal with anyone that can stop him. Now let's look at how many people can do that. So Eudora could do that.
Probably just
Paquito
one.
could do that. Barats could do that. So there's three members that can deal with the Marcel. One of the reasons why they don't really mind letting the Marcel go. So right now, it does seem that Team Spirit, they just get all of the answers before some of the problems even existed, right? Because Suyo came out late. And then, well, the Marcel's first, but again, they were able to answer that. So let's see how it translates in game. And in this current meta, it's all about map pressure. Let's look at what happens when there's no map pressure here. We're going to be seeing, this is, by the way, look at this, it's 243 in the game. This is fairly early on. And we can see that the gold lane here, Hiko is winning by a lot. And then we're going to go to the EXP lane, and look, three members of Team Spirit is already in the jungle, and it's already like, look at this. This is the second tier turret of Yangon, and they're able to go in. This is 2 minutes, right? This shows how much domination they got with the Barats as well as the Paquito, which, by the way, I feel like Barats is #1 EXP laner, and I would say Paquito is sharing that spot with Freya in terms of the best gold leader right now. And then we'll be looking at what one of the problem is here, where we see that Team Spirit, they overcommit, and yet there's not enough damage, there's not enough instant crowd control, and that's part of the problem that we have if we look at the draft here coming in from YG, where Ying can be a frontline, that's great, but not immediately. He needs time to set it up. Kaize can kind of stun, but only if he hits his skill shot. And then Blink kind of stun, but here's the thing. In the golden hour, some abilities go through, some don't. And we're going to be looking at this clip here, how it has been stunned up, and then Hun tries to attack, but the guy's frozen, so no damage is going through. So this draft honestly doesn't really harmonize together all that well.
I guess the clips that I also...
Yeah,
Okay,
speaking of harmonizing.
we are trying to harmonize right now. I guess the clips that I also picked up are just to further complement the idea that we're trying to put out about the bad relationship. I still don't completely understand the metaphor that he put out, by the way.
Yeah, me neither. I think it's deep in his past.
Yeah, but I think this will really kind of establish how within the team and within the lineup, it hasn't been really that great. And at the same time, against these opponents, against this lineup, it hasn't been as great. So where's the play button? Oh, there. Okay. So I chose this clip in particular. Was it this one? Or I chose this clip in particular because I think it was just very brief. But this was a quick movement from when they actually went to steal away that purple buff and immediately transition to this turtle, which, by the way, Ying was just trying to hold by himself. So again, we mentioned he is expected to be the front. He's capable of being the front, but that's just pretty much it. He can kinda tank the damage as of this moment because it's not like he was really able to scale up either, because again, both the sides were really matched really well. The guy beside me is doing a really well job as well, trying to mimic what I'm saying, but at the same time, what I'm trying to point out is you see how the combo of the burst is actually put into action here by Team Spirit. It was probably a bit of a worry for us that the Eudoro had to deal with a Uranus, that the Eudoro had to deal with a Marcel that could probably just be everywhere. Thank you for zooming it on my face so you don't get to see him anymore. But yeah, so at this point, I feel like this moment already meant so much to how Team Spirit have pretty much secured the game, because the moment that they were already able to deal with Ying and no other member from Yangon could actually provide help nor trade whenever Ying actually went down, I think that was pretty much it. It was one moment where they tried to trade. I feel like they kind of hit their power spikes, but I think it's a keyword. It's always kinda. It's never really enough for Yangon to actually go in for a fight against Team Spirit, and that was a one moment where you saw Blink or Sanji, as much as he already had items on a Claude, try to go in, but just look at what happened afterwards. You just kind of see how sad this engage looked like. There was a full stack Blazing Duet, but he just gets cancelled out by Hiko and Tsar Egoist. So there's not much you can do with this lineup. There's a clear lack of synergy from Yangon Galacticos.
Not to say that the draft was bad, it's just that in the team itself, the chemistry isn't there, and there's so many answers that unfortunately was able to be drafted by Team Spirit. So it's just a very big mismatch.
That was a great breakdown. I also, you know, when you look at something go wrong that way, but Team Spirit has a few moments, I think you see the quality of both of these teams shine a lot. And when you see the caliber that we're looking at, these teams deserve to be here. They've played and played again. They've been knocked out. They've won. They've had bounce back wins and victories. And I think you look at what is valued, and there's maybe 4 picks that seem to be kind of driving a lot of this, and it is the Barats. It also is making sure the Atlas isn't available, so someone's using a ban on that half the time, because you don't want both. And then, of course, you're going into the Paquito, and that is becoming a bit of an issue, and the Harara, which is the primary priority jungler before you start getting weird. And I'm not saying it's too weird, but, you know, you bring out the Suyos, the YSSs, the things that aren't really meta. So my question is, do you leave more open knowing that, hey, let's just hit each other with everything. Like, you're going to get that, I'm going to get this and this, because it felt like they lost that trade. If they're on blue side, do they leave more open? Do they not ban the Valentina? Or do they try to just focus the bans on the roam and see how deep we can go? Because I think they won that roam battle with Blink. I think he can go as deep as possible.
Because I think even Yangon don't want to use the Valentina anymore. Like, based on their game yesterday, so they just probably took it out. Well, it does kind of tell you something about how they want to draft. But being in blue side and still not having a better draft is a really weird thing to look at. So I do think there are a bunch of things that have to be dealt with if you look at Yangon.
Yeah, to answer Rinde's question, I think yes, leave a lot of things open. The problem is, I feel like YG came in with that mentality where they tried to get a lot of things open, but the problem is they let Team Spirit get all of them.
I actually agree with you. I think that's why we saw the Valentina. I think they actually left
Valentina, Harley, as well as Atlas.
I think they were trying to make sure they could get Atlas and Barats, or at least get something like that. But they just, I don't know, they were late to the game. Maybe they just need another crack at it.
I feel like if they try that again, maybe don't first pick the Marcel.
Yeah.
I feel like Marcel
that's probably
is strong,
what it is.
but not enough.
Yeah.
I feel like Barats or Paquito, both of these are probably like the highest prio now.
Or not in terms of the Yangon play style. Because I don't think Marcel will just really enable the kind of play style that they've been wanting to play based on the previous matches. Because I think even though in previous matches where they had much better drafts, or hero synergies to be exact, they've been doing things individually and they just layered together so well. But in this scenario, it just really requires you to follow a certain sequence, which I don't think they really would want to go for if they want to play fast, especially against like a team like Team Spirit.
Yeah, they need something for the early game. They need to deny it. They need to match it. They need to keep tempo. So now they're back to the drawing board. Team Spirit have done something well, and they know exactly why it works. Can Yangon make an adjustment to tie us back up? So far in our sets, we have not seen many teams go 1-1. We've seen the 2-0 and then 2-2, which means we are in a heavy momentum swing for this meta. I think it also means that generally, LaFell, some team figures it out a little bit earlier, a little bit faster, and it takes a minute to figure out how to handle that.
I feel like game number one, it's kind of how Yangon want to test the waters, right? Because we even heard in the interview with Eterna where their coach said that they're going to be aggressive. But that was the kind of draft that was not aggressive, right? So maybe they just want to test the waters, and now Yangon, they just ban out the Barats as well as the Paquito, because I think even they agree with that. That's too much of a problem. Let's get rid of both of them.
Yeah, the question was, do you leave everything open or do you take everything away? And it's clear that YG said, we are going to take away the Paquito. We are going to take away the Atlas. We are going to take away the Barats. And now we're going to be on a more even playing field, because in this situation, we're getting one of the two that we think are the most valuable. But I like this too, because we're just going deeper into those frontliners, those fighters, those roams. I think this works for YG. We've seen it work.
Yeah.
Eudora gets banned. I feel like Hirara should be the top prio here. Marcel can kind of work, I guess, but I don't know, man. Hirara's been like one of the faces of MSC.
I'm thinking between Hirara or Jusen for Yangon.
I think you Hirara.
Yeah, same. If it's just about what really works, I just think if Yangon have been drafting according to comfort, then that could have been a consideration. But now that will remain open. Honestly, to Spirit, I think there's even the Belleric Paquito that are available.
Paquito's banned.
Never mind.
So yeah, I think like there's a chance that they could actually steal the Zushin away as well, because again, the Eudora has been banned out, so you need someone else to control during the fight. In terms of Belleric, I think it is an okay pick for Sao, but Sao does show quite a lot of heroes so far in MSC, so that might also be something that they want to play around. And with the Paquito as well as the Barats banned, I think Hiko is just going to get a marksman here. Like some kind of marksman. The Esmeralda gets picked up as well as the Belleric. So now Team Spirit has already established they have a front line and they have a counter-engage hero in the Belleric.
I almost think we've seen Sora picked up, right? And he's done okay. I like that maybe going deeper into an EXP lane. Remember, Phoveus was available last time. You had some interesting matchups. Lapu, I think you go Claude. Sanji's very comfortable there. And now Kaise can get his Zushin.
I think he really should get a Zushin, unless there's a prior roamer that, I don't know, I want to try. I don't know about that though. Because Glue is counterable either with the carry or mids like the Vexanas. Yeah, so it's a good hero, it's just counterable.
So the Harley picked back up, and that's something they banned earlier on, Brig. But the second Tower has a chance to get it, brings it back. We'll see how impactful this is.
Okay. I guess they've been eyeing the Harley. That's why they didn't really lock in their mid laner first. But at the same time, I feel like a Jusin was an okay pick into the Harley either way. Because you had the Crimson Beacon, you had like escape tools to just really keep yourself safe. And that goes the same if you want to get out of dangerous situations, since Spirit are looking to draft a really good comp against Dive.
So at this point, just ban out a lot of mids, and I think you're pretty golden, because at this point, I really feel like banning out EXPs isn't really all that great, but they respect a possible die-off, which hasn't worked too well, but again, on paper, it's one of the only picks that can deal with the Esmeralda.
You know, I will say this. I feel like Carrara survived a lot of Gord ults because of those iframes.
Minions! Minions! Who is that? Kevin?
I thought it was Glue, not Gru. So the fans are having fun in here. It is a lively building. But do you think that maybe it's going back to the tried and true? I think maybe they like the Gord. There was a good source of damage. There was just a lot of heroes that could get away from him.
I feel like Gord is good against the Esme and the Bellery, but that Harley is going to cause so much problems. Like, this Harley makes it so that you always second guess what mid laner you want to use and what marksman you're going to use, because both of these roles can get one-shotted by the Harley. Some heroes can outplay it, but not all. And Gord having no dashes is one of the more dangerous picks against the Harley.
Yeah, if it's stashes that we're talking about, since the Jusin is already pretty much out, the Valentina is still there as a mid option for Yangon, since they can also pretty much take away the Wrath of Dryad for themselves.
That's
but the
true.
thing is, it hasn't really worked out for Kaize. That is one thing we got to observe for them recently, especially as they're forced to play a much slower game. And you don't really know what the matchup is going to look like. If Spirit get more and more range, especially in the mid, that might be tough to deal with, because you really want to complement the glue.
Well, we've got our bans here. Zushin finally banned. So it does seem like they're going back into the pool. There's been a resistance for Kaize to go off of the 4 chant heroes that he's used. There was a one-time Valentina, but otherwise, we've seen that Zushin, we've seen that Eudora, we've seen... Well, we'll see if we see something different here.
Yeah, because for Spirit, they can take the Valentina just to take away from YG. It's just that there's no really good ults for you to really steal. But sometimes as a Valentina, it's not that big of a deal. You just want to be able to put pressure in the early game and then kind of deny from your opponents, because then there's no more dashing heroes. Kinda Lilia, but I think Lilia is worse because her HP is so small.
Wow.
She will die anyways to the deadly magic.
And I like how they're not necessarily reacting to the glue pick. Like, this could have been a Vexana anyway, but just so they could be faster
Steal
around
away
the map,
that Valentina,
steal it away, they just lock it in instead of YG getting their hands on it. So that poses a question to YG instead. How do they match this, knowing that it's going to be a Beleric Valentina in mid? You have a glue. A Lilia could have been an option, but I feel like it could just burst it really fast.
Like, it's going to be good for a while until the Harley gets like a genius one, and now an Arlet gets picked up, as well as the Selena here. I'm liking the adjustment that YG is picking up, but now a Clint. A good matchup in the gold lane possibly can burst down multiple members of YG as long as Team Spirit gives in a good early game.
What do you guys feel about these drafts?
I think it's more equal compared to game number 1.
Yeah, I'm liking how proactive Yangon are this time. They have a lot of setups. It's not like they're gonna wait for Spirit to start it every single time.
Claude back in the marksman position for Sanji against now a Clint, and it's going to be Ying on that R-Lock, which we saw so effective, and the Selena finally let through, and there's my daughter, Aria, my baby. She made it here. All right, having a lot of fun. Let's send it over game 2 and get us started here in our grand finals.
So sorry, Rain Day. I don't know if your daughter needs to watch this next game here, because it's going to be an absolute bloodbath. It might be above the age limit for this one, because we are expecting an absolute brawl. Huge contestation for both roaming supports here. Glue is an amazing pick into this lineup, but the big issue is, are you going to be able to build the right items at the right time? There's a lot of magic damage on the side of TS for this early game, and eventually that Clint is going to be a bigger problem.
Absolutely. It's also about how do you cut through, right? Against this composition, you need to win in the early game, and that's why the Selena pick is going to end up being massive if utilized properly. Can they utilize it though? That's the question. The Esmeralda almost holds a complete monopoly up top when it comes to tempo.
It is, and that's the thing, right? We're going to see how this game has to progress because there's also counterplay to a lot of the different problems that we're going to experience. If you look at the emblems, at least looks pretty standard all the way through. Season Hunter, at least for this lead. And now First Blood going to be achieved here as Kais finds the kill. And now, with this lead, this is what we're expecting, right? This is why I was talking about the support so often. Those deaths, they're kind of the only people who can walk up and do what they can do, but Blink is a lot more expendable in comparison to Sao because they need that Wrath of the Dryad.
That's the tempo we were talking about, though, yeah. For Team Spirit, they're going to have to wait a lot. I think compared to game number 1 especially, you're going to really have to wait for that Wrath of the Dryad, like you mentioned, Gideon. And for YG, it's all about fighting level 1 to 3, finding those slam passes. And with the Hirara, the Glue, and even the Arlet here, you're going to have so many resets. That's why Zaur wants to take Ying out of the equation. This is how they get back into that turtle fight after Sao got picked off.
Yep, it looks like they're not going to be able to contest the very first turtle here. It's going to be level 3 to level, well, actually, pretty close to 4 for Kid Bomba. He should be able to hit it first no matter what. And they're going to use that pressure to start zoning out the rest of the Yangon members to allow TS to hit 4 on time. However, Sunset Lover, not there yet. Do they need to walk up to get the EXP? No, they're going to rush this.
It's such a good decision for them. Now, retreat battle is still going to be Zaur. Han was close to it, but it's such a good decision at the end of the day right now because they know there's no big ultimates to take anyway. So why do we need Sunset Lover on 4? We're just going to get tempo in mid, take that main win condition away from YG, and get that turtle.
It's abusing the timers. Ying was not level 4 at the right time. Han wants the contest, but unfortunately, even Kai's hitting level 4 doesn't make the difference in these moments. They need Blink to be level 4. They also need to make sure that everybody is ready to fight at the right time. So now with the off-tempo play, they steal it away. Great decision coming in from TS, but where is the rest of the conversion, right? As we go back to the neutral states, you can see that even Kid Bomba is still making Ying's life very difficult, despite Han purposefully showing himself.
He's dominating the lane right now, dude. And they're able to... Whoa, that's so wild. There are no other ults to take. To be fair, it's either that or the final slash, right? Yeah. You're not going to take the Blazing Duet.
Well, honestly, we don't know. Yeah, maybe later in the game when you're desperate and you need to be able to kind of peel away from Sanji already on top of you, then maybe. But even so, at least with the battle spell, Sanji understands that he's got the Purify to work with. I just don't know how this lane is going to go for him. He's playing the lane well, right? But Hiko's got this freeze on him for this point, at this point of time. And until Hiko gets his first item, that's when he really starts to dominate the matchup.
One thing I will say about Team Spirit and how they're able to actually just gain control of the map when nothing is happening is I think they're the best team at playing the neutral game. When there's nothing happening on the map, they are so good at maximizing all these small little trades on the map. Like even here, Bomba is getting a trade over on Kaize, giving Sunset Lover more pressure in the lane and stopping Kaize from putting those trap downs, you know? It's just such a small win, but it builds up, and that's why Team Spirit now, even though they're down a kill, are the ones up in tempo, in map pressure, and everything.
Exactly. Here, because by the time the turtle actually spawns, Kid Bomba in about roughly 6 or so seconds after the spawn, he's going to get his ult back, so they understand how these timers work. And you can see that Ying, as soon as Bomba shows up, he's like, oh man, I gotta try and forcefully clear this wave. We trade ults again. We're going to come back down to the turtle, and I think it's going to be that constant dance. I want to see what TS's decision is here, because now they can't sneak away this neutral objective, but I think they want to extend their lead. Oh, Bomba, he's got the proxy.
And Sunset, that's the reason he stole that Abyss form. Man, Sunset with the Flicker out from the stun as well. It's a proxy up top now. Did they go for the retreat? Sao with the Flicker and the Wrath of the Dryad in the backline as well. It's going to be the jump on Sunset now with the steal on the slam side of the pass as Sao gets away in time. He's going to be taken low though. Sanji with the Blazing Duet takes him low, takes him out with Ying.
They want to punch it even further here. They're not done just yet. The arrow lands
over on Hiko, and it's Ying with a punish on the Vengeance.
That's what you want to see. Just continuous CC after CC just to give that extra bit of bonus damage coming in from Ying. Beautiful stuff all the way through, but at the same time, the game is not over just yet. At least the tempo has fallen back into Yangon's favor, but in the mid lane, just notice that Ying, now, he doesn't really want to be stuck in this lane any longer. But let's look at this replay one more time, right? Sao so close to dying here. Sanji clearly doesn't have the items, but as soon as the Purify is out and Kais is able to find an off angle on any of the priority targets, there's nothing you can do.
Zara almost getting a sneaky little assassination there, but Han with the iframes, a bit too hard to kill. I think what we need to talk about, Gideon, is the fact that Team Spirit intentionally took that fight a bit long. Kid Bomba, though, the final slash lands on him, but Ying doesn't have the Vengeance again. Bomba now able to get the shielding in time. Han cannot take him out.
That's got to be frustrating.
It's now 3 series days in a row where he just can't kill Bomba.
It's annoying because you can tell that Ying, he was thinking about jumping this, and Han was like, no, give me the kill, sir. Please, please, I need this right now. You're already 2-0. I'm 0-2. Just give me a little bit of gold, and it could make the difference here. And that might have just costed them a lot more than they would have imagined here. But you're absolutely right.
You have to go back to before the fight. Bomba didn't go for the rotation straight up, even though he had a tempo advantage over Ying. He stayed and he cut. He proxied deeper. So it was almost as if Team Spirit knew they weren't going to take that fight. They were just trying to prolong it so that YG can't get their early snowball in time.
And not to mention that they're utilizing their threats, like Sawa walking up and faking the movements, trying to throw as many feints just to get YG to react. Is Sawa in trouble here? He shouldn't be in trouble, right? Yeah, he's totally fine. And he's able to get a little bit of his health back. This is why Beleric is just so annoying to deal with. Very similar to Glue in a lot of senses, but just can't fight as often as Glue.
Bomba opening up again. This time around, it's going to be Team Spirit with a man advantage. Grouping up, but they have to split up. Remember, Blink can find an AoE. Now Blink with a mount down. It's going to be Ying caught in the deadly magic. The ball is starting with the Wrath of the Triumph. Lands on everybody.
Hey, the combo is good, and now they're using a Clint to cut through the rest of them as Kid Bomba, making sure that Sanji can't even walk up to auto anybody else. I am your bullet sponge. Don't look at anywhere else, please.
Ying is isolated. He's chasing all alone. Wait, that's not Ying. That's Blink. Now the Blazing Duet coming through, and it's actually all planned, calculated by Blink, capitalized on by Sanji. Bomba's going to be able to look for that compensation, though, as now they go for the turtle. 2-1 in turtles, in neutral objectives, but TS, stay busy. It's Sour up top with the turret.
Man, this is a tough matchup. I was wondering whether Hiko on this Clint was a good option. They wanted to win the lane, which technically they sort of got, but they still can't deal with Blink. If Blink gets on top of Hiko, it's kind of over for his life. Even if he does actually have the flicker, he's got to time it perfectly. For the rest of the team, at least for TS, it's about peeling, and even so, they don't have the correct answers, right? I don't think Kid Bomba or Zara Egoist or Sunset Lover wants to be the one getting pulled away, but that's the thing, right? Yangon, they're trying to keep it tricky. Blink getting on top of Sawo initially, pretty good idea, but unfortunately, where do you pull him to?
Blink with a walk up again, stun over. Sawo gets caught by the arrow, the final slash lands on Bomba. He's trying to capitalize now with a fast pass, brings him all the way back to Han, and he gets the Sky Piercer stack.
Better target priority. That's exactly what we want to see from the Yangon Galacticos here. You don't want to pull Sawo into your team, but Kid Bomba, you know what? Without Purify, let's do it.
How the heck is the lead?
So little.
1,000 at this point, right? Like we would expect at least 1,000. Another arrow in mid. Kaiser with the flicker out. Blink was looking for that slam. Finds it on Sawo. Again, chained together with the Abyssal arrow. Sawo hasn't moved in a good 5 seconds.
The Living Ward, the Living Sentinel, the Living Tree is still holding strong. But Sanji also now realizing he can't waste any more time. As much as we've commended TS for actually not only dragging out games, but they are so good at being efficient with their time. Yangon are starting to pick up steam at this stage of the game. First helm already complete from Glue. Berserker's Fury finally on top of the endless battle. Not sure if the rapid boost is going to keep Hiko alive, but man, this mid-tier 1, you can see that both sides, they really want to crack it open.
And Spirit are trying to play on the other side of the map every time, reacting to YG really well. Sanji using the BMI, the deadly magic does land in the end. Now as Han's going to be isolated from the rest of the team. Sawo able to get the taunt down on Blink as Bomba goes in, but it's going to be the final slash landing on Sunset Lover. Caught by Ying, taken out by Han. The Abyssal arrow goes wide as Han goes in again. Is able to escape, and YG will utilize this man advantage to rotate straight into the neutral objective.
Oh, the red herring here. Ying showing that final slash to Kid Bomba as if, yeah, I'm looking for you. No, I'm going to go for somebody else. And they've got 10 seconds worth of tempo here. Sawo, he can try and delay with the Wrath of the Dryads, but this is First Lord. This is really important for either side.
Sawo has a position, goes in with a poker trick onto Blink. Oh, arrow lands again, baits out the Purify from Bomba as Blink gets the pass. Now, that's a Swift Trinity completed by Sanji. Very quick at 10 minutes.
Honestly, not a bad idea for Bomba to actually absorb the arrow early on, predestined to fight, knowing that Sunset Lover is coming back up and he has that Purify, because you can see that Yangon, they want to react to this.
And these deadly magics from Zaur, man, he's using it more as a poke tool than to finish people off, right? He's just coming in, space escape into a deadly magic. Doesn't even matter if he lands the poker trick or not.
Yeah, no, it's so true, because again, they don't have the sustainability.
This is a crazy Lord Dance Blink. Able to jump on Sawo. He's able to sustain back up. Bomba no Purify for another 48 seconds. He's holding on this position. And Zaur's too far. Han with the red tree, securing the neutral objective. The Sunset Lover's Howl goes with the rest of Dryad, but he's going to be all alone. And now it's the rest of the team who's going to take him out.
Oh man, the Minesweepers just wasn't enough. Oh, the final slash!
Lands on Sunset, it's Han on a killing spree. And he's able to buy some time now. Up top, it was Blink who got the solo against Zaur.
Oh my goodness, this is not going well for Team Spirit's Yangon. Now looking for some revenge after game number 1. Fine, technical prowess you can take, but we know how to fight, and they are fighting hella good.
No Purify, final slash into the arrow. And Sanji picks up another kill.
Double Holy Shielding down. What a statement here from Yangon that they are not going to lose confidence just because they dropped a singular game because they weren't able to fight. Now, because denied of that fight, they're getting extra messy. They're going to reach further than what TS expected. Can they actually get this? No, they don't have the minions.
Cleared it out just in time by Team Spirit, but remember, that siege was YG without the Lord. They got the Lord, but they chose to just push in forward.
Oh, it's a pretty big attempt here. If they can get an inhibitor, that would be great. But at the same time, see that TS, as much as they want to engage, they kind of need their flickers, and they know that Zaur's flicker is coming up in 45 seconds. So at this point, how else can they look to delay this? They might have to sacrifice at least one of these inhibs.
Yeah, it seems like they're going to have to sacrifice the top side, man. They're not even going to be sending all their members there. Protecting the far lane and the bottom lane, I think it's a wise decision. But still, for YG, they'll take what they can get. That's a Melfic gun now for Sanji. 12 minutes.
He's strong, but the big game changer here really has been Kai'Sa as well as Ying. Those arrows have been perfect.
Ooh.
Okay.
Almost immobilization. Sanji with a Melfic gun, abusing it and able to find a turret in the mid lane. So that's 2 with the first Lord.
Interesting, interesting. So Sunset Lover has been stealing away the ult coming in from Kai's just because it technically works as a morph. So when you have morph, you actually get access to the rest of the abilities, like the arrow, like the trap. So they've been trading back and forth here. But I think the big issue is the fact that Yangon has set the minefield every single time. In the previous Lord take, Zaur couldn't even get in on the typical angles or off angles onto the Lord pit because of how many abyssal traps reveal this position. Looking at the items, Chastised Pauldron finally done. Done here is the first item coming in from Sawo, on top of the fact that he's got the Radiant Armor. Now it looks like he's building up to the Guardian Helm as well. In terms of the raw magic damage, they've got the burst. However, down by the bottom side, we look at Hiko. He's got 3 items too, but those positions are really difficult, especially when Blink has Flicker. He's just got to react.
No chance. Still going to be very tough. And now it gets even worse for Spirit, because how are they going to catch Sanji? He has a Winter Crown very soon, already has that Melfic gun, is scaled past, I think, a lot of Team Spirit's own win con. So it will really take YG to make some mistakes for Team Spirit to be able to actually look for an angle to come back here.
I think the worst possible scenarios is if they can chain CC off of the Wrath of the Dryads. That's one. The second dangerous one is getting hit by 2 Shadow Strikes from Sunset Lover and getting terrified. I think that's also probably the worst case scenario. Oh!
Arrow lands on Sawo. They're doing a good job zoning. Zaur Ego is from this Lord. 15,000 HP on it.
It's so good. The Wishing Lantern getting some really good poke here as they're looking to contest the angles from both sides.
Ooh. Low Sunset Lover in the mid lane as well. That bottom lane is looking juicy for YG.
Ooh,
as patient as ever.
They can't correct this in time. I don't think they can, and I think YG should start actually taking the space, but Sanji just used his BMI. They might wait for it a little bit longer.
Hiko's going to be sent up top, I believe, to deal with that wave, yes. As YG control this Lord again. Sunset Lover is busy in the mid lane, handling those big minions.
Now they just have to sit and dance for a little bit. Even YG understand this is a dangerous 50-50 to be had, right? Level 15 to level 15, as much as they have iframes, Zaur's Retribution, if well timed, could steal this and drag this game out longer than it should be.
That wave in bot wasn't pushed properly by YG.
Oh no!
Hiko able to react in time to that flicker in the final slash. Hiko, that second skill, that catch could have just possibly won them a Lord. Because look at the bottom lane. That was so unlucky for YG. They didn't build it in time, and now it's building back for Team Spirit. Slow push, and Han cannot go down.
It turned from an offensive assault to now a defensive assault, and TS now whole priority here. Yangon, you have a 5.7k lead, and yet they still can't get close to this Lord, not without having to worry about a bot tier 2 being traded out. And TS, they're so happy about this. They're dancing for days, and now they see Blink.
Sawo, he knows it's a tendency of Blink. He studied Blink's gameplay all throughout. He always looks for these plays, and that's the forced error. Team Spirit with a macro masterclass.
Oh, and now the Guardian Helm is done, so Sao can walk off, take some damage, walk away from the fight, and come back in.
Han's bot! Abyssal arrow doesn't land. Han's still in the bottom lane. They're going to go for the first right now. Blink goes in with the slash, having the pass. It's a final slash, bringing Zaur away. He's able to get away with the face escape for now, but Zaur wins it, gets the retry, suns him the blink around, and Han.
And they're still chasing you. They're about to get one. They get two. Killing spree for Kaise as they chase the last remaining members to try and close out this game.
Team Spirit played for the Lord. YG say, damn the Lord. We'll take the fight. We'll wipe you out, and we'll equalize in this grand final.
Oh my goodness, this is what we were looking for. A 16-2 game for the Yangon Galacticos. Statements made. We don't care what the world thinks of us. We brought it to 1-1. No confidence lost.
And what a way to start. Possibly the best grand finals ever. I mean, when it comes to results, nobody predicted these two teams to be up here, and to see it at 1-1. To see it this close, to see the dynamic between the teams, one playing slow for objectives through macro, the other one saying, no, we brawl.
And now we have to talk about the out-of-game aspect. For Team Spirit, they've been more consistent throughout all of their games, but there's one thing that Yangon Galacticos got going for them, and that's momentum. If they can build this up with one extra game, the odds of Team Spirit are starting to look a little shaky unless they start correcting this draft. I know that he didn't want to give the Wrath of the Dryads over to Yangon Galacticos, but it may have hurt them because they got them no ults, and Ying was just playing out of his mind.
You gotta give props to Blink as well, though. What a fantastic performance on this glue. Even in that last skirmish, he was the one who jumped on Zaur. Then we saw the final slash. It almost looked, this was it. Blink with the jump. Zaur get chain CC, zone away. In the end, he still got it, but he had to sweat, he had to move, he had to use all of his resources just to get that Lord.
Oh man, we are running out of resources here at the desk. We're gonna be throwing it back to the panel to break this down for y'all.
Thank you so much. We said these teams were tested with adaptation to get here, but it is now the requirement to stay here. One heavy punch, and the response with the uppercut. A swift defeat of Team Spirit. Yangon Galacticos even things up in the 1-1 as our best of 7 turns into a best of 5. Rain Day, Brig, LaFell to break the action down. That Arlet from Ying. They change the strategy. They take away the Paquito. They take away all of the options that we've seen be so successful. The Barats for Kid Bumba. And then they have that answer.
Yeah, and I still can't believe Han was just last seen in the bottom lane a couple seconds ago. That's why Spirit were just going for the Lord, but then you suddenly see him also being part of that fight which really mattered to them, and it's so surprising to see Yangon bouncing back like that, because that game 1 loss felt like it wasn't a loss you could just easily recover from.
I mean, that's one of the strengths of Hirara. Once she gets about 2 or 3 items, she's almost max CDR, and that makes it so that her skill cooldown is incredibly short. The fact that she doesn't have any mana makes it so that she can just spam all of the dashes, making it so that even though she is taking care of the long lane, she can still participate in the upcoming fight. And again, this is what we wanted from Yangon when they said they're going to be aggressive.
Yeah.
This is the aggression that we want to see.
It started out with Hirara as the conversation against Ling. Ling has dropped out, but Hirara, I mentioned the iframes. I thought that Gord, and when you look at Kaise, could have gotten several kills, wasn't able to do it, but that might have just been the hero. And taking this hero now into the hands of Han, what can Zaur Egoist do? We talk about the implications of damage from Harley, but you still now have Kaise back on the Selena feeling comfortable. The Ying can make plays. The Esmeralda's good in lane. Kimbamba likes to get aggressive. But guys, when you look at these stats, what went so right?
Honestly, when we look at his stats, the one that you have to look at is actually Kaise. The damage dealt is 51,000. I think a lot of it, hey minions! I think a lot of it is coming in from the traps, but the important thing is that aggression starts with a lot of damage, and that happened when they do have the Selena. The Selena, I would say even level 1, already deals quite a lot.
Yeah, I was honestly considering it even as one of the potential pickups for
Cryos?
Spirit earlier when they were just left for second phase mid lane options, but they still went for the Valentina. I think in a way gave them some of the playmaking capabilities, but I don't think they were really able to put it into use. Like we saw how Sunset Lover occasionally got to steal away the final slash and such, but it was always just them using it when they were already forced to use it, more defensively, more during a messy team fight, because Yangon were very efficient in just already isolating who they want to go for first and allocating who needs to go in first. It can be Ying, it can be Blink, and Blink too. On this glue.
You were questioning the glue. We thought, like, is this enough? But it was.
I mean, like, we questioned it because he could get countered, but he didn't, right? No bad heroes for glue was picked up, and Blink, man, like, that guy is amazing.
Yeah, he's playing great. LaFell, you got another Telestrator for us? Let's check out what you have to say.
So I'm going to be pretty quick for this one, but I feel like most of the MLBB community will agree with me on this one, where a lot of attention is in the jungle, being like the primary mover of the map, main damage dealer and everything. But throughout this MSC rain day, I personally feel like the biggest conversation is the front line, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And even in American football, the line has to be strong enough to either protect the pocket or create space for a good running play. And that's what we see here in MLBB, where in game number 1, we saw both Kid Bomba as well as Hiko really helping out whenever they do get these two heroes, right? The Paquito as well as the Baras. They're amazing playmakers, space creators as well. And with both of them out, it makes the game fair. And I think this is the first good step that Yangon really took. But then we saw Ying on this Arlet as well as Blink on this glue. I really feel like for all of the games in this best of 7, who has the better playmaking frontliner, the potential of winning is much higher. So we're going to be looking that in the draft later on. And in terms of the clips here, I would say this just shows when you have a very strong frontliner, you're able to actually space everyone out for the opponents, making it so that it's easier for your team to really contest the Lord. Because as we see here, what we're going to be seeing is really just the positions of all the members of Team Spirit. They're spread out. They want to make sure that they don't get caught, especially by Ying using the Arlet here. But in terms of that, you can see that what Team Spirit thought was going to happen was they're going to delay the Lord because they're trying to pick a fight, but that's not what happened. The moment they know that the Harley is nowhere close, they just contested for the Lord, burst it down, and they're able to do that. And then afterwards, we start seeing whenever the team fight starts happening, a lot happen coming in from Ying as well as the glue. Because look at this. Ying able to jump in using the minions to dash with the Vengeance and then catching Sunset Lover. We even see the mark is there so that Ying has another Vengeance going in. And this is why in the draft now, who's the EXP? Who's the rogue? Is it a fighter gold lane? If it is, what is going to be that fighter gold lane? Because who can create the opportunities will win the game.
I think that's what it's been about, right, Brig? I mean, who can create more opportunities? This game, it was more on Ying than it was Kid Bumba.
Yeah, he had to live up to the Ying name here. Well, why? We thought it was good.
No, it's bad and good at the same time.
It is good.
I love it.
I think it's good.
Right?
I just was trying to hear you say it too.
Yeah, because at this point, or at least in this game, yes, he did get taken down once, but it's not like that's what really mattered. It's his presence who feels like he's someone you just could not consider for pickoffs at all, because he had a very high mobility hero. Again, it was the Arlot with a Vengeance, and he was the guy that they really had to be wary of whenever they sensed that a team fight was actually gonna break out, because you could maybe look at Blink, but he's more there to just mess things up. He already presents himself there once the team fight has broken out, but Ying has been the pace dictator, at least for this game.
And I just like the draft in general. I think the response was to deal with the problems, and obviously Paquito early, but when you don't have the Paquito, you allow Sanji to be that much more effective and comfortable on the Claude that he wants to actually play. Guys, there's a lot that's occurred here. We're going to take a quick one, and in the meantime, check out Mobile Legends Adventure. On the flip side, we'll have Game 3.
My friends, we're all tied up here in our grand final. Incredible match we're seeing so far. But I wanted to check in with another incredible person. Mom Bomba is joining us here, the mother of the wonderful Kid Bomba, as you're seeing. And wanted to ask you a couple questions here, of course, auf Deutsch, in German, when it's possible. First of all, how is Bomba as a person? Is he always so, I guess, he has that personality also in real life? Wie ist Bomba als Kind? Ist er immer so selbstbewusst als hier in MSC?
Ja, der war selbstbewusst und ein fröhlicher Junge.
Yeah, this is how he is. He is very confident and he's a very happy young man. And that's exactly what we're seeing here out of him on the screen as well. Our second question, the entire community so far has been reacting so positively, which is wonderful to see, especially given your support for Bomba as his mother. Do you have anything for kind of words of comfort for maybe parents out there that want to help their sons, their kids that want to become professional players? Die ganze Community reagiert so positiv auf deine Unterstützung für Kid Bomba als seine Mutter. Haben Sie eine Botschaft für andere Eltern, dass sie auch deren Kinder in E-Sports antreten wollen?
Ja, natürlich. Die sollen ihre Kinder einfach ihre Träume ermöglichen, freilassen.
Of course, it's very simple, really. Let your kids really play out their dreams and help them, support them to actually make that happen. Mama Bomba, danke schön. Danke auch. Thank you very much. Let's check in what's happening with our next game.
Well, Mom Bomba, I love the way that flows. Mom Bomba.
Mom Bomba.
Feels like we're speaking another language. Milos on his 7th language or something at this point. I don't know. The man speaks Arabic, French, English, German. What can't he do? Speak Lefelian?
Minion language.
That's what I said, Minionese.
Yeah, Minionese.
Only a few people.
How does that sound?
I promise by the next tournament, I'll figure out the language.
Yes.
Okay, all right. I'll hold you to it.
Yes.
What did you want to say?
No, I was just so happy to see that.
I mean, like, where else can we go with this conversation? Really?
Probably nowhere. I'm hoping you guys drop it.
The only
continues, and Zushin, Atlas, Fanny Band this time around for Team Spirit. It's Bakito, Barats again, and Freya for Yangon Galacticos, who are on red side and respond with the Ying and the Eudora. First pick, Harara, stolen away, and is going to go back in the hands of Zauer Egoist.
Yeah, but I think Yangon are still very happy with this, considering that they've stuck with the pattern of taking out the Bakito and securing one of their power picks, their comfort picks for Sanji. I think they're in a good spot, at least for now, in the base of the draft.
One other thing that I like as well is they took away that Eudora so that just in case they want to use that Suyo, then they can. It's not immediately punished. Sure, this Lina is there, also have a lot of burst damage, but the thing is, it's not as easy as Eudora.
And I like this too. I think, again, as we see this third pick, Brig, do you enjoy the approach of maybe saving Rome till Red 3 or even saving Rome until the second phase?
If it's teams like YG and Spirit, yes, because we see even Carmillas, even Chips being played on the map. But this is a really good response, I feel, from YG. They're sticking with the glue, and I think it's just so much better in this composition where you have to body block so much.
And I feel like YG has this calculated risk where they don't mind picking up the glue because, yes, it is one of their comforts, but also they just know Spirit's draft pattern to know that this is not going to get immediately punished. Sure, maybe in this best of 7, eventually Hiko will pick up something like the carry and able to deal with both the Claude as well as the glue. The problem is, again, Eudora is having a range advantage up against that carry, so that's just something that you always have to think about. Carry is such a good hero, but is not without its risk.
Yeah, and I think you don't see two of the most important heroes to look at when you actually want to lock in your gold laner, which are probably the jungle and the EXP lane, because these are the two heroes who could probably just be assigned to go after Hiko. And considering that we have so much less in terms of fighter options in the gold lane, then there might be so much more consideration put into that. Because I feel like even looking at what's left in terms of that, I don't think you see an assassin, or you could just predict an assassin to come through immediately for YG just to lock in a Ruby, which is more commonly a response towards that kind of jungler. So sticking with the marksman is still something that's probably going to come out from Team Spirit, but they took out one of the least wanted ones against their lineup, which is the Melissa.
Gold and EXP being looked for on the side of Team Spirit. And when you come to YG, still looking for that EXP as well. And they're going to find their jungle pick. The Arlott taken away. So again, a ban towards the EXP. The Phoveus also, but that still leaves a couple of things open. You still have the Uranus and the Esmeralda that can go toe-to-toe in the EXP lane. Both teams, are they content with that?
Yeah, I feel like YG was challenging Team Spirit because they're betting out the Phoveus, which we haven't seen ban quite a lot, especially like you say, the Uranus is still up, the Esme is still up, so they're kind of like saying like, are you going to respect the Arlott? And looks like they have. So right now, YG, I don't mind them picking up something like the Uranus or as the Esmeralda, just because I feel like with the glue as well as Eudora, it should be enough crowd control.
Yeah, and there's still a possibility of maybe them picking up the Nolan later on, which I feel would, if ever they're looking at either that.
I feel like last is fine, because Suyo, Nolan, I still prefer Nolan, but...
Yeah, so that could be an option if they really just took out the Phoveus, and maybe we're looking at that. Oh, but they're the ones who get the Ruby. Yeah, this is Ying. So he can pretty much just pull it off however he wants, but Spirit, okay. They now fully know that this is going to be Ruby XP and Claude Gold. So do they still want to go all in on dive?
I feel like YG is also considering whether they need a Harley for this one, or they need a Nolan.
Oh, yeah.
Or is it gonna be a game where they can scale up? Honestly, with the Selena, I don't think that you can really scale up something with the Yi Shin.
Right.
Especially Ruby as well. I feel like this need at least one magic resist item, and then she should be good. Well, now she might need more, because the Hive has been picked up by Team Spirit, and now the Lapu Lapu as well. So Lapu and Ruby, I would say it's a pretty good matchup, because both kind of want to fight around minions. And when there's minions around, they're just gonna lifesteal just way too much.
Team Spirit have already shown their cards. Guinevere banned on the side of YG, still picking for the jungle. Harara taken away. The Ling has not been played since what feels like a few weeks ago. And so the Nolan it is. You guys called it. And you like it a little bit better, you said, LaFell.
Yeah, just because the Nolan can match the speed of Harara, but we'll see. If this Selena does have the Veteran Hunter, then maybe Harara will just be that bit faster, but I feel like YG has a comp that can slow them down enough that it just neutralizes whatever advantage that the Selena can have around the jungle.
Yeah, and they can pretty much move fast enough to get away from danger. Well, at least that's what they need, because I think Spirit and the lineup that they currently have are just so good at setting up for team fights.
Well, it was an early game win for Team Spirit. YG, like we have not seen in this tournament, respond right away to even the score. A best of 7 turned to a best of 5. Who's going to take the lead to start it off? Gideon and Mirko?
Well, that's a really difficult question right now. I'm leaning a little bit into Yangon only because they're a momentum-based team. You know, every single time they get that win, they just seem to be sharper. They seem to build up so much steam as they get right into this game. Team Spirit going to be on blue side, facing up against the Yangon Galacticos on the red. Purple start here from Czar and Sunset Lover. It's going to be a green camp start on the purple side for Yangon.
I just really like Team Spirit's draft, though, honestly. Just looking at the way that they play, how they, again, control these neutral objectives. It seems like they have built a composition to play around that, right? Even Bomba on an old but still signature Lapu Lapu pick against Ying here. He's going to have to be careful against a Ruby. Ying's doing a good amount of damage, but he popped the regen, Ying.
Yeah,
so that was very weird.
At least for Ruby, she's not hyper reliant on it, right? You know, naturally inbuilt sustain, just needs to walk up to the wave. I'm low, not a big item, not a big deal. But every single time she tries to go for the sustain, she's unintentionally pushing the wave, right? Now Sanji, we're looking back at the emblems. It is Season Hunter here, but Sanji did have to take the Purify, and the same goes for Hiko. So very lucky matchup here for both Sanji and Hiko.
Sanji already winning in the lane earlier, but Hiko will be able to get that gold crab with the help of Sunset Lover to relieve off pressure a bit. Kid Bomba spots out Han up top. Gonna have to respect this man, but Bomba actually just walks up onto Han. Wait! A fracture on the other side. Now, these were the jitters I expected game 1.
Yeah. I think maybe the pressure is starting to mount, and I think at least for Han, he recognizes like, okay, my ult technically is pretty short. I can use it willy-nilly as long as there's like 15 seconds on that turtle, then it's fine. We can still look for other plays across the map. The question is, what is that play going to look like, right? Because every single time it comes down to the mid side, both teams are very well adjusted to each other. You can see that a lot of their rotations, they're not taking the dangerous paths no more. They're opening up the map slowly after sending 1 or 2 members. And Blink this time, he's back on Minesweeper duty.
Mama got level 4 though. Blink opening up. This should be a free neutral objective with the Season Hunter, or rather just the Selena. Boom, bang, Team Spirit without even the retribution, pick up the neutral objective again. 3 games in a row, it's them who strike first on the neutral objective.
Yeah, let's see whether the vertical jungling is going to start, right? An invasion from Hirara, able to steal away at least 1 green camp. Han, doesn't go vertically. He's going to head straight to his next buff here. Notices that it's missing. What can you do about it? Little Water is up in 11 seconds, but here on top side, this is where it's extremely volatile, right? Because Kim Bamba, if he can zone Ying away from that lane, they're in trouble.
Pullback Bamba's able to escape just in time, doesn't even burn the flicker. And now they try to regain control over the map. Link in the mid lane now, shoved away from that bush. Sour Ego still has a whole bottom side jungle to clear.
And I love the fact that Yangon are taking into account everything. Hey, Bomba's walking in a pretty weird direction. There's a good chance there's an Abyssal Arrow coming in the exact same linear trajectory. So at this point, Yangon have a lot of different things to think about micro-wise on top of making some heavy decisions. And I think for TS, they don't mind it, taking it just a little slow, right? We're expecting the big fights to happen by neutral objectives and nowhere else.
This is where it gets really good for the Harith, you know. Early on, level 1 to 3, the Claw's gonna have an advantage, you know, able to get away from the Synchro Fission. But the thing about the Harith is, as long as he's able to survive that level 1 to 3, he gets complete monopoly over the gold crabs, and that's going to give him such a big lead later on, obviously, if it continues here. So, YG, I think they gotta have to try sending some of those members down below to just take the gold crab away. It doesn't even matter if Sanji doesn't get it, as long as it's not on the hands of Hiko.
Yep, they just have to deny it. And let's not forget about the lane matchup. There still is a kill angle for Hiko onto Sanji, assuming that Sanji has no BMI and happens to get caught by, whether it's the edge, ideally in the middle of that Zaman Force. The movement speed reduction, really a pain in the butt in the early stages of the game. Okay.
Wow! Untargetable into the immobilization. The Imofanic comes around right now. Sunset didn't land the Abyssal Arrow. TS will call it off.
Great composure coming in from Ying. If I was in that position, I would have flickered or something. But again, holding it close and making sure that they're playing against the wave to sandbag the lane.
Now the Abyssal Arrow again, not landing. It's you with a flicker, that's why he saved it all the time. Zaur's still able to get the retreat in time as Ying. He had the composure, but it's the all-in onto him as Zaur is waiting for the untargetable. Goes under tournament, is able to go back and forth. Oh my god!
Outplays him with the iframe. Zaur does it perfectly. I really thought that maybe he should die there, and he still survived. He's got the combo points.
The Wonder Boy of ECA, Sour Egoist. First it was Blink, second attempt was Han. Both failed, and Baba takes the XP crab away.
Now, this is a very similar rotation that we saw in game number 2 coming in from the Yangon Galacticos. Sunset Lover finds the punish, chunks Han out and says, you better go back to base. That orange buff, you're not going to get anywhere near it. And Sunset Lover is walking up to ensure that it's... Oh, hold on. Bit of an awkward time to go for a replay there, but coming back into this fight, the wombo combos, like we mentioned for this composition, they have to be on point. And Team Spirit understand they can't just fight willy-nilly. There's got to be a conversion area.
I thought he was chopped, and then he gets the killing spree proc. And then what happened here? He was probably also screaming, Zaur! Zaur! Oh my god.
It's accurate. Even in slow motion, it's just crazy that the lethal ignition didn't proc away. They just needed one more auto attack and would have done the job. Now, the 2 flickers down on Sunset Lover and as well as Sawa at this stage of the game, but the rest of the team from Yangon Galacticos also about to get their own battle spells up. The major advantage really comes on to the multiple members of TS. From EXP all the way down to gold, everybody has found a slight advantage.
Hiko is really becoming a problem though, right? He already held a monopoly over that gold crab. Now, he's taking the XP crab, putting him in a great position for Turtle 3.
he's just a little itchy for these crabs, you know?
Oh, Sour. Hey, hold on now.
Hey, he's going to proxy the wave very early on here, and look at the coverage coming in from the rest of TS, right? Han, if he can find this, that would be insane.
Sour's so smart. Every single time, he never uses both the proxy, only just uses one to clear it out. That's why Han can't go in now. He's going to be spotted. Sour with the walk up again. He's going to go with the retribution, and he wins it 50-50 as the missile arrow lands on Han, and now the rest of the team goes in. Sour, Wrath of the Dryad, change CC Ying, taken low, but not down just yet. Bomba walks up forward, gets the last hit. Now it's Sanji on Bomba, but Sour playing a great position, holding it.
Amazing mechanics, really amazing mechanics. Can they get a little bit more here? Because now, this is the position that Yangon always find themselves. Mid-tier 1 threatened, and Han has to give up his life for it too.
Double immobilization from Sour. Han cannot be walking like that. Sunset with the capitalization, and now Kaiser. It's going to be so difficult for him to find burst. Bomba's just taking it like a champ.
Yep, and now from this point onwards, we're expecting TS to just skyrocket. Their stonks are getting bigger and bigger. The gold lead and deficit here for Yangon spreads very thin. Abyssal Owl connects here, but look at Sour. He wants to go in, and I'm pretty sure Sour's telling him, relax.
I think Sour knows exactly what he was doing there, man. He just wanted to bait out the flicker. That was really good CC immune by Bomba. Now the Wrath of the Dryad and the taunt over. That's going to completely lock down on Blink. Taking out a Sunset is going to be taken low, but is able to get away for a bit, baiting out some resources. Sour gets away from Ying. And it's TS who are just showing how good they can be with the mechanics as well.
They trade out Sunset Lover for Blink. Ideal, it's not ideal, of course, but they got the battle spell out of Kaizen. No flicker for him. They're making sure, let's look at the items real quick. 2 to 1.5 for the comparison between Sanji as well as Hiko. Cheaper items as per usual, but even so, no big items like Lightning Truncheons for the extra burst. We do see a Chastised Pauldron being purchased by Sao, so again, it's still a little difficult to take him out when he goes for those big flicker plays on top of the Wrath of the Dryads. Overall, the biggest problem right now is the fact that Zara can basically fight whenever alongside with Sunset Lover. With that War Axe, doesn't matter how low he gets chunked out, he will be able to heal back to full as long as there's a wave, there's a camp somewhere.
Uh-oh. Careful, Sanji. Bomba with the Bravest Fighter jumps in with the flicker as well. Now he's going to the blazing weapon. He's going to get bursted down now with the Purify. It don't matter when Bomba knocks. You just got to react in time. Blake gets caught in the stun and the Dryad.
The fight was already over before it even began. I mean, he's going to try, but they're going to get him here. Zara executes him underneath the turret like it was nothing. Fallen Maple, baby. He's so good. These young junglers are ridiculous. Whether it be Han, whether it be Zara, put him on something as overpowered as a Hirara, and it looks crazy.
Bang. Bonk.
You gotta give it a Kid Bomba here. And also, it's more of a mistake on Sanji for just not instantly purifying and getting out of that position. He held it for a little too long.
And now it's a free neutral objective, 10-1. 6.4k gold lead. Bomba on the Lapu Lapu with Sunset stealing away camps, but you know, Hansa has retribution. Still able to secure it. Fracture on the green camp, not giving anything away. But man, wait, Sara got a kill off camera on Kaise. Oh, during the replay. Oh my god.
Yup, just one-shot him. Like, he is so strong right now. It's ridiculous. And he's maintaining these War Axe stats.
He doesn't even have Side Piercer, right?
He doesn't. He doesn't. That's why I say, Hirara, as soon as you hit level 15, you feel like an absolute monster, with or without the CDR, right? Just the natural damage that you have, and able to triple it every time you use one of those combo points.
Zour. There to go in. Bomba with a jump on the Bravest Fighter now on YG. Oh, this instant CC immune to get out of that. I'm offended, Ying. Just cannot land those CC locks.
Oh, and look at down the bot side. You can see that Han is trying his best to get a tier 2. Blink should survive here, but they might just end up losing it here. Yep. Good lord, good lord.
I guess no.
I guess no. I guess no. This is a really tough game. Really tough game for Yangon, right?
At the items, bro. What does he have? What is he packing?
I think he's already packing his 4th item at this stage, right? It's an 8k lead. I think 4,000 is like should be on Zara at this point. He's a 2-level lead against Han. He's stolen what? How many buffs at this point? 3 buffs at this point. It's been difficult. It's been pretty difficult. And Hiko just getting, hey guys, it's me, Feather Heaven. Where y'all at?
Everybody's at 6 items. He's like, yeah, Feather of Heaven.
Guys, my investments are working out.
Dude, I mean, for YG right now, there's literally nothing you can do. It's 11-1. you can only just wait in your face. It's a Eudora as well.
Dude, he is nearly 10,000 extra damage ahead of Kaise, and somehow Han has not been able to find the big burst damage or the snowball that we were looking for. Holy, 4 items!
Yeah.
Oh, I thought maybe it was a little short on the roar, but good.
No wonder. He's basically dealing true damage, right? Before YG members can even get those physical defense items, he already has the Melvic Roar.
Yep, and I love the fact that Kid Bomba understands that he still needs to be somewhat tanky here, right? He's not like trying to greed out, going for the Hunter Strike. He's like, all right, I've got the Queen's Wings, I've got the Chastised Pauldron, I'm gonna dive every single time. And with the damage reduction, if I hit multiple people, even better, my anti-CC can get me in and out of these fights. So really, the all-in is dependent on Yangon more than it is for Team Spirit.
And a damage taken as well. Bomba taking a beating, but really hasn't reflected. He has 0 deaths. Bomba with a jump in, the flicker on Kaise again. Bidding on some of those resources, taking everything and finding the stun. Bomba!
Oh, a mistake, and now they're gonna get punished for it. Ying goes down. Blink should be the next to fall here with an epically strong Hiko on top of it all. Like, if things could not get worse here in game number 3 for the momentum that Yangon built in game number 2, TS has completely shut it down.
Bomba just took a 1v5, baited all the resources, everybody corralled in, and it didn't matter. Bros 3-0 and 3. Now with the Bravest Fighter again, no flicker, so he can't go for that stun, but he's able to buy some time right now. The arrow lands in the back line, and it's gonna be Sunset, and Sour goes godlike. Han's gonna be taken down, and that's Team Spirit who leads the series 2-1.
Man, that's a really big mistake there. Bomba jumps in, was not supposed to actually land the stun onto Sanji, and yet it did, forcing him to flicker out, and that costed them the entire fight. It's moments like this, small little details that make all the difference, and Team Spirit answer back, you know what, we'll take this game. Yangons just have to say, well, okay, GG, go next. It's still a best of 7, first of 4 wins are the champions. We don't mind giving you this one.
My goodness. It's been a while since we've seen Kid Bomba on the Lapu Lapu, but man, he reminds us why it was one of his main picks back in the day. It was literally just last year, where every single time Mans was styling on everybody, but unfortunately they couldn't lock it in for a win against Onyx Philippines last year. Now they're in the grand finals and he's styling.
He is styling. He is playing very, very well. They're so in sync with each other. And I think what it really boils down to is they both teams know how to play with a significant lead, whether it's small, whether it's big. It's really about taking control over the game, influencing the movements. And so far, the composure really leans in on TS for this particular game.
The follow-up from Sawo, immaculate. Then Zao, the cleanup, and Sunset. Look at his arrow. Oh, boom.
Works every single time, but we can't give all the fun here at the table. We're throwing it back over to our panel to break it down for y'all.
And we're catching it. Thank you, Gideon and Mirko. Another game, another Team Spirit win. They turn this best of 5 in their favor as they grab this one to go 2-1 up over Yangon Galacticos of Myanmar. What a journey we have had to get to this moment. For those just tuning in, seeing the action, this has been anything but easy for both of these teams. 2 regions that have not been represented in the grand finals of MLBB, and some would say most of the relevant history of this esport. But at this point, either one of them will rewrite their story and create a new chapter in the history books of this tournament here at MSC in Paris, France. And I cannot wait to break it all down. My name's Randy. I'm joined again by Brig and LaFell. We are your panel. We are your friends. They are brother and sister, they said.
You're brother
and
too.
I'm now a brother as well. We're all brothers and sisters. We're siblings. And that was a Team Spirit victory. I don't know. What is it about Kid Bomba when he gets going, about Zaur when he gets Aurora, that is unstoppable?
Oh, I think they both individually had highlights there. I think their clips are gonna go out on social media just later. The escapes we saw from Zar, Egoist on the Hirara, and the entries from Kid Bomba. The entries, by the way, which did not cost them as much. And that's just a statement right there to show how dominant Team Spirit have already established themselves in this game. Because as much as you don't want to admit it, what our casters said earlier, it's sad that it's true. Yangon could not do anything in this game.
The proof is Han only did 11,000 damage. And let's put that into perspective, right? His roamer, the glue, did 15,000, right? So that kind of shows if you're position 5.
That's a problem.
The one that's supposed to have no farm does more damage than you, which is supposed to be the one moving the map around. then yes, we can definitely see how that becomes a problem. In fact, I would say Mirko put it very nicely to say that the draft coming in from Team Spirit has amazing presence around those neutral objectives, the Turtle as well as the Lord, but we don't even get to the point of the Lord being relevant. It's all about those Turtle fights, which will show the zone control they have later on.
You know, you wouldn't have thought that Nolan would do so poorly. This is a really good hero pick. I think as a 5, you're flexing it. You know you're getting something a little bit deeper in the pool, but it's worked. And we've seen it work as a selection. You said the Suyo could come out, but this was what they went with. It was a disappointment. But is it less about how good Nolan is or isn't, but more about how valuable Harara is in this matchup of junglers?
I think it's because what Nolan wanted to do is essentially the same as what Spirit has been doing. It's just that Hirara had more help in terms of being able to pull off those in and out plays rather than the Nolan could. Because I think, especially looking at the glue, you want to stay in the fights longer. You want things to get really messy just so you could land your grabs on your targets and so you could pull in the ones that you want. But Team Spirit have done a great job at just going in when they feel like trying to start a fight, but they can choose to commit or to not commit either way. So it's like they've been always playing and setting up fights on their terms, which I think their lineup greatly specializes on. But for Yangon, you want to just keep the fight going so then Han could go and find the pickups that he wants, but he's not really given the opportunity to do so because, again, Spirit have just engaged whenever they like and they just don't fight when they don't feel like it.
Classic opener from Team Spirit. They jump out to the lead. Yangon ties it. Spirit back out yet again, and it's a great showcase of how good they are. But LaFell, when it comes to why they're so good, what did you see in Game 3?
Well, I think your question kind of already answers a lot, which is you asked, how does Kip Bomba, like the moment he gets going, everything looks good? And how he does that is that you can plan all you want, but if you get punched in the face, you forget about all of your plans, and that's kind of what Bomba did. So first, we got to talk about the change that happened in this draft, which is Team Spirit, they have 2 things, right? Number 1, they have a lot of mobility, right? Where they can move around. And why this is so important is because the fact that they're going up against a glue, right? I ran out of space, but here's the thing. They made it so that this glue cannot really do much just because, let's count the amount of dashes they have. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Yeah. These 4 members have a lot of dashes in their kit, making it so that even if the glue does catch onto them, they can outplay that. And that's the second thing, is that all of these heroes, except for the Belleric really, they have ways that they can individually influence the map just by, I would say, the latent, the potent aspect that the heroes have. Yeah. They have a very high skill ceiling, making it so that it's kind of hard to really predict what's going to happen. But we're going to be looking at this clip here, and we're going to be looking at more of the zone control that Team Spirit really has with this draft. And again, we talk about how having that first punch is going to be very important. We will be seeing how, honestly, they try, right? YG really tried, because we're going to be zooming in. We're going to see Blink, even using the flicker, try to get on top of Hiko as well as Sunset Lover, which are positioned just right here. But the problem is, again, they have a lot of dashes, making it very difficult for the glue to really do much. So when he does go in, able to dodge out, and all the while we see Kip Bomba here trying to zone them away. Speaking of, we're going to look at all the zone control that they have. Sao is controlling this flank here. Kip Bomba is controlling this side here, as well as Sunset Lover is just here in case he controls the arrow. So how does that look like? Well, the visual control Sao has is here, Kip Bomba is here, and then Sunset is here, but it can really go out to anywhere because the arrow has a very long range. And it ended up making it so that Zara Egoist was able to secure the turtle, but then the follow-up here, a very quick turnaround, how they were all spread out, and yet they clumped up together so fast because of 2 things, mobility as well as just the potent ability of each hero to have a very high skill ceiling, making it so that they can continue to fight once everything is said and done. So this draft is honestly less about strategy and more about the coach giving the players a hero that can do so much. It's all about your own creativity. It's all about your own skill. Yeah. It's a draft not many teams can pull off. But the teams that can do it, it looks amazing.
It looked like also Blink got caught up trying to find Hiko.
Yeah.
And I think they understand the power of Hiko when he gets going. And I think they understand, too, how if you do kind of tunnel vision, you can lose track of the bigger picture. And so sometimes in these best of sevens, it's normal, Brig, to, okay, we focus a little bit too much on that. Now we need to pull back here. Think about it a different way. If you're YG, what's your takeaway now going into game 4? Because you can't really afford to make the same mistake. Going down 2-0, giving them a chance to, in this case would be 3-1, 2 games in a row, a chance to clinch out the next game. What has to shift? It might not be a big one.
Yeah, honestly, it's tough if you base it off that game because I agree with you. There might have been some sort of tunnel vision already. There was so much attempt to really lock on-to Hiko specifically, and I think that's essentially because that's what you expect from the glue. That's the job that you really want to get from Blink, because I don't think the Selena would be an easy target that he too could really dash on. So, and I guess you really would want to resort to the Harith because it's a much more sustained source of damage when it comes to the team fights. But even if you do get to do so, the zoning, it was highlighted earlier by LaFell. I don't think the others could really catch up. So there has to be a much cleaner communication between the team, between Yangon, if they really want to set their eyes on something, and if they really feel like they're already capable of actually committing to whoever they want to go for or to that specific team fight. Because multiple times in that game, it just was a clear disconnect, I'd say.
Yeah, trying to get more connected here in this one. And when we come back, we'll have game 4. But also, in the meantime, make sure to check out MLBB and its new crossover with Street Fighter.
Thinks he can come in here and play my game. Let's go. He knows nothing. Let's go!
Tyler 1, you're done.
Raw energy. Half from blow the house down.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by play.
Well, the stage is set for history here in MLBB. MSC has given us a tournament to remember, maybe one of the best of all time. And we know that now that deserves a final that is worthy of your attention. But this one is all about the little things, the details yet again, because the drafts have kept this game pretty close. Yeah. It's really balanced on a knife's edge, LaFell, and now it's Yangon Galacticos' chance to respond after Team Spirit again take the upper hand.
For me, if they want to win, they got to get first pick. They got to get onto blue side, because at that point, they can first pick the Harara or force Team Spirit to actually ban out the Harara, opening up the draft even more. Because I really feel like that's one of the big difference in game number 3 is that they're on the second pick. They have more picks, able to get the Claude. But again, letting go of that Harara does seem, honestly, quite punishing.
Yeah, especially as we've seen how the mastery from Czar has been exceptional in this series. Yeah. That last game, dude, I'm still not over how he actually got away. He still remained alive.
During the purple buff
During
attempt,
the purple buff sequence. It was a bit too much to handle, I feel. It could be very... It could really affect the morale.
Yeah, and it's just in the flow, and it's a positive effect for Team Spirit. It's a negative effect knowing you got to deal with that again. There's going to be moments that he just escapes, and it's 2 games in a row he's had too much of that. And on the other side, I think you have to consider that maybe this is Zauer's story. Maybe this is the story of a young jungler who's 16 and starts out his international career on a big stage like this and lifts a trophy, LaFell, because as much as Myanmar wants this, as much as they deserve it, ECA has also brought the heat.
I mean, like, if we're going to talk about story, since the very beginning, Sunset, Lover, as well as Sao, since as early as M1, they basically made through every international. They might have missed one or two, but the majority, it's always them. And then the lineup upgraded by bringing in Kid Bomba, a lot of personality, but talking to the guy one-on-one, he's very clever in the game, especially about how the laning phase is supposed to be, and then eventually getting Hiko Mania. One of the, I think one of the highest counts of Savages in international tournament, and now completing this lineup, Zauer Egoist. I gotta say, all 5 members have been through a lot, and they're creating history every single time they go to any international stage.
I agree. That might just be a really good way to look at it, especially considering that if they do get to secure the championship here, that means that Zauer Egoist was eventually the key to the breakthrough that Team Spirit has been longing to achieve for the longest time of them being part here in the competitive MLBB scene. But let's see, because there have been certain adjustments as well, especially in this draft. No more Hiraras coming through.
And you know, I think that is respect on the hero. I think it's respect on the hero, what she can do. I think it's respect on the opponents. And it's just saying, let's make it a non-factor, guys. We don't want the game to go based on who gets Hirara and who gets it 4 times out of 7. We just want to play. And at this point, you see the Uranus back up pretty high overall. I'd say for not seeing him last game at all, or banned, we see him first pick next to Zushin.
Yeah, honestly, very high winner here. YG, they might respond with the Esmeralda, but again, having that Zushin, the Zushin really makes it so that YG might have a difficult time here, because Zushin is incredible in the sense that she can manipulate the team fight, and she's very hard to catch. Just those 2 combos make it very difficult for any team to fight against Zushin.
Yeah, and my only concern is that that will provide for less playmaking for Yangon, which I feel like is an essential if they just really want to speed things up. So they don't really secure their XP lane matchup just yet. They already know that it's going to be against the Uranus, but this is what changes things.
My goodness.
But this shows that there's a chance that we're going to be playing double fighters. Or even if it is a marksman, it might be something that influenced the game early, like a Harif again. Harif, Granger, the likes.
Okay, if it's double fighter though, Akita Frey are gone. So it's just mostly the Ruby that could be a potential pickup for Hiko, if that were to be the case, which again, it could be also some sort of deny towards Ying, because Ying doesn't have a hero just yet, but do they really want to settle with a Ruby if they're playing a lineup that's just going to protect around a Yi Sun Shin?
I mean, I don't mind Team Spirit having at least one other hero that has the crowd control, because the good thing about Uranus, he's hard to kill. The bad thing is he has 0 crowd control. So I feel like Team Spirit, especially when they want to go into the team fights with Yangon, they might need at least one more, and then Zarigos will be perfectly fine on this Yi Sun Shin.
Okay. It's a great setup though. They already got rid of the R-Lot as well. And if they're looking to steal away the Ruby, then it will be looking good for Team Spirit. Yangon might then just revert to looking at other potential backline heroes maybe, that they can just commit to finding either Hiko or either Zauer. But in this scenario, you kind of just don't really pour in much into hero synergy again, because this is looking like a really good team fight comp if you want to play around the
I mean,
Baron.
Spirit, if they get something like a Minotaur, it does help out with the sustain as well as the crowd control. Betting on the Harv is good here, because again, I feel like Harv would be the #1 choice for Team Spirit, so that, yes, they have 2 scalers, but Harv is still usable even without 3 items.
How far are we missing the fact that Marcel, oh, well, they don't really need it right now. Marcel is still available.
I mean, they could take it.
I mean, they could take it if they put Uranus in the EXP.
Yeah.
And of course, at the end of the day, they could also take it on the side of YG, and there's the Marcel.
Yeah.
You're pretty much high rank MLBB now, right? I gotta say.
I think so.
You download it, and now I feel like you're just mythic.
Please admit what your rank is already.
Thank you, guys.
You're probably not just admitting it to us.
That's my all.
Well, right now for YG, I would say the good thing for them is Team Spirit has a pretty squishy lineup. So if they can get a jungler that can capitalize on that as a finisher, I think it'll be good. I feel like the Eudora in the early game won't be able to burst them out that well. They just need a good follow-up. They need a good follow-up, able to chase. I feel like that's the #1 thing YG needs. They need a hero that can chase. The Marcel, the Lee Sin-shin, as well as the Zushin. I feel like Nolan is still okay, but they picked up the Boxia, so they're going back to tank jungle and having the Benedetta, and then the Granger picked up. I said they will pick up either the Hive or the Granger because, again, they just need that early game. But if scaling becomes a thing, the Claude as well as the Benedetta can deal with this Granger. I mean, Claude already has a good lane against the Granger, so I'm liking YG's draft despite not liking tank jungle.
You did say chase, right? I think the Boxia is a lot of chase if they just really want to go for that. But yeah, I have to agree. Yangon have introduced something yet creative once again, and I think currently we've been talking so much about the meta rewarding creative draft. Let's just see if they can pull it off efficiently against Team Spirit this time, who are currently on momentum.
Well, Cold Star likes the draft, shows some hearts to the fans at home and in the stands here at MSC. Feeling good about Team Spirit's chances to go 3-1 up, and Yangon trying to tie it up again.
A truly mythical battle that is being set before us. A composition this time for the Galacticos. They've got Ying on a playmaker with a Petrify in hand, and Hiko says, you know what? I'm not purifying this. I will win the lane. I will combo with my boy Sawo, and we will close this out. I have to see how this is going to play out because we've seen many, many times in these matchups where the Boxia generally takes the early game pressure away from a Yi Sin-shin.
That's the thing, but it was in a different meta entirely. A meta where the jungle didn't give too much gold. Now with the Yi Sin-shin being able to farm really quickly, able to get those items quickly as well. Will it stop that snowball from the Boxia? That's the question, and that's why YG, they're already setting their sights on stealing some of that those camps away from Team Spirit.
And this is exactly what they want. I don't know if Yangon planned for game #4 to go this way, just to understand what the early rotations are going to be from Zaur and then look to punish him later down in the series. Early on, though, I am a little worried how TS is going to play. At first, neutral objective doesn't seem very winnable for them, and then once level 4s come around, it's still sort of, oh, wait, hold on.
Oh, there's going to be good damage on Blink. Killing spree as well. Zaur a bit more movement speed, and Pryo in the mid lane goes over to Team Spirit as Bomba gets tempo up top as well, and this is what I'm talking about. The clear speed of the Yi Sin-shin. Level 4 already. And Hans level 3. Blink might be in a bad spot now. Zaur threatening Blink's life with the Mountain Shocker. Might be threatening a take on his Mountain Shocker. And baits out the Retribution. It's going to be down right as the turtle spawns up later on.
Yeah, this is such a big win for TS because even regardless, they don't even have to contest the turtle, right? It's just going back to their own side of the jungle, finishing it up. Oh, Zaur with the Traceless trying to break up that shield unity if necessary. They do not want Hiko to fall behind. That does show a little bit of priority on who has the most important job and what they want to get done and accomplished in this game. First turtle up, it's up to anybody who's gonna get it.
I think for me, Team Spirit shouldn't contest this one. And looking at Zaur Ego's position, they won't. They know the neutral objective is basically the main win condition of Yangon Galacticos with a utility jungle, so they'll just give it away. They already got some wins. Ball lightning though, oh my god! Sawo getting blasted. 2 ultimates used up. Hiko with the flicker out away from the shield unity. So much respect from Team Spirit against this snowball comp from YG.
Yep, and this is the creativity that we weren't really seeing from Yangon in game #3. But here in game #4, it's a completely separate beast. Yangon now actually having not even much of an economic lead. Oh boy. But they want to make sure that every moment matters here. At the end of the day, still, it's going to be up to Sanji finding that big play at the end to try and chase them down. And I think as long as they are, trying to set up this unstoppable force into this immovable object, they can force anything out. Beautifully done by Han.
Yep. Good move. The Crimson Beacon now down. YG can be looking for plays around the map, but again, the big question mark for YG is still, is this enough? Because I don't think it is, Gideon, right? With this composition, you need to be the ones controlling the neutral objectives to just stay even, but by doing that, Zaur has just used these little windows of opportunity to get ganks, to get camps, shield unity. Oh, the golden hour saved him! Perfectly done. Zaur getting out to safety now. The Lantern player's right there with the Breath of the Drive. The flicker locks him down for the ball lightning. Kaizen, Blink.
They got the punish with the enhanced, empowered, super conducted Fork Lightning. And Sanji, while this was all going down, that early rotation coming in from Hiko, he's gonna take all the gold in the world. Now we are starting to see the leads. The only unfortunate part is the fact that Blink has been taking these kills. But other than that, really, at this stage of the game, with how much money is on the line, the pressure and the pride of regions as well, Yangon, doesn't matter. As long as we get the kills, we're fine.
Hiko with a rotation in mid, getting caught. I agree, Gideon. But YG now they're a step closer to, again, pushing that lead to a spot where this composition should be able to get by this point of the game. But Team Spirit seems like they are confident that they have reached some of the power spikes as well to go for the contest. Bomba in the midst of it all now, pops to the consecration, able to buy some time right now as Blink walks up to the back. Sour Ego is mounted, Shocker, and the Red Tree win!
And now they keep on moving forward. They've already found one into Blink, and can they chase off the Han? Yes, they can, and they find it like the final blow!
Big bomb by Kaiser and the final blow to take Sao down, but the rest of Spirit stay calm and composed. It's a trade in the bottom lane as YG are able to get a turret. We look through this again, fight, and it was the Mountain Shocker and the level advantage from Sour Ego is that forced Han to use the Red Tree a bit earlier.
Yeah, I mean, they managed to get one trade, but it's so unfortunate that especially for Ying, who actually was in great position with the Electro Final Ball and Petrify, just didn't catch Hiko at the very end, who shows up at the last second to take him out. So with Skypiercer stacks already involved here, Yangon have to recognize trading may not necessarily be the answer if those kills are going to get funneled over to Hiko's side. We've seen how devastating it was in our third place match between Falcons alongside... Oh, wait, hold on. Wow, a bit of a strange contestant here, especially for mid-priority. It doesn't seem necessary. Blink might be in some trouble.
No, that's all they want. They want to just bait out the Wrath of the Dryad at the bottom lane. The flicker out from Hiko, away from Han. So it's Wrath of the Dryad and mid baited out for the flicker in the bottom lane. And I mean, yeah, that Granger third place match, 10-minute end. Kelra was a beast there. Hiko's not a 7-0 Granger just yet, but it is going to build up. And the question is again for YG, whether or not they can stop this snowball from happening to a scale composition.
Hey, speaking of that snowball here, so far, using the Golden Hour underneath the Tier 1 with no waves whatsoever, both sides are willing to start throwing resources at each other just to make something happen here. And luckily, they're doing it before the turtle actually spawns. However, that Golden Hour, a little dangerous. And of course, Zaur coming up with a 1.3k lead on his side. He's got the advantage. Question is, will he get the space?
3-level advantage. If the Red Trees were already tough to win in a 50-50 when you had the level, again, I mean, if you had the same level, now it's going to be very tough. They try to blitz the turtle, but they just don't have the enough damage. Can see on the bottom lane all the way here. Zaur making his way over, rather than Dryad, locking him down as Han is able to get the retribution, but Blink's going to get shredded down. Zaur throws him out of Shocker. That's going to be the Sache!
What a play! The superconductor and Yangon Galacticos are able to find a couple of kills, but they're on the run now. They traded 2 for 2, and it's not as even as we thought as Kimbamba takes one back.
They used everything to get the turtle, everything to get Hiko. And Spirit capitalize on the long fights. It's Bomba again. Deathless, this time on the Uranus against Han, takes it away as well. Recalls in his face as Sour pushes up top, gets a turret, and the trade is again good for Spirit.
They can't stop this. Let's look at the replay one more time, because again, Blink, amazing Wrath of the Dryads, hitting onto multiple targets here, but look at the chain here. That Kaisei set up for Sanji, and yet it still wasn't enough. Those frontliners are a huge problem right now.
And Bomba waiting in the BMI and being the assassin on Uranus. Mountain Shocker again. Zaur looking for the angle. Blink gonna be caught. Rather to drive, forced out of him already. That's gonna be the Mountain Shocker that lands onto the pickup and throw back into Hiko's bullets.
Good block. Good
not
body
enough
block.
Damage.
Yep, not enough damage, but look at this. This was a 4v5, and honestly, it's a big win for Yangon, getting some pressure on the opposite side. Now that they have an EXP laner who not only clears waves ultra fast, but also has incredible movement, they're not going to be put in the same scenarios like they did in the previous couple of games where, oh, we got to worry about our side lanes. Oh, we won't be able to get there in time. No. It's a different story this time, and I think that TS recognized it.
It's all about building these waves. It's all about scaling at this point, right? YG, yeah, they have a snowball comp, but they have been able to find those clutch moments even in the late game with these kind of compositions before. That game 5 against Falcons, one of the best examples of that. So YG can never be counted out, even after they've been outscaled.
Yep, and I think the scariest part is the fact that YG have two incredibly fast rotating heroes. And I don't know if they're going to get the punish on this one. Still, Ying using his eye for an eye was thinking that maybe he was going to get hit by the turtle, but yo, Sanji. Real dangerous here, using BMI so aggressively. We'll see whether or not TS has the information.
Oh god, it's about to be a 4-level lead between the junglers. Blake's gonna get poked down. Rhapsody and the Dead Sonata, that's gonna be the shield unit landing on Sunset 11, but a good golden hour to stop them. A shot from Zaur, killing spree as well. Zaur looking for the opening right now, goes in, but Ham's gonna win the retreat battle. Rather than try out of the blazing duet coming from Sanjay!
And he's looking for as many cleanups as he can. Hiko flickers 4, gets 1, gets 2, triple, and a maniac instantaneously!
Out of nowhere, Hiko finds the shots, thread the needle, and now it's just Han. Team Spirit played such a good game. It was Han with the retreat. YG, that looked like they had the AoE, but Team Spirit are now the ones knocking on YG's door.
Holy cow, holy cow. Hiko, something unlocked in him. He just suddenly became Neo from the Matrix all of a sudden.
What the heck happened?
Because this was an incredible play, right? They just first zoned them out. Blazing Duet comes on through, and Hiko said, you know what? Doesn't matter. You're standing too close to each other. As soon as I land it, you are gone.
Bomba's feeling it. Team Spirit are feeling it. It's something in the air. Hiko's popping off. Sunset, Samo, Zaur, Bomba, everyone.
You know, while before the cast, before we even got to the draft, we got to see Mama Bomba walk by. And there was one thing that she said that is really stuck. Today is the day. They really feel it. They put so much heart into it. 54 stacks already built up onto Hiko. How can he not feel like he is him right now as they basically unlock the architecture of Yangon? They're looking for a T2 at this stage, and they're going to double confirm with the help of the Turtle Bow. They've got the vision, but at the same time, they know Ying is nowhere close.
And now it's YG. They got to dig deep. Yangon Galacticos again find themselves far behind, and unlike in game number 2 where they were able to equalize with their own lead, they went for this composition, the early one. They got 2 out of 3 neutral objectives, but they just couldn't capitalize on those team fights.
It's been very, very difficult, but at least the Guardian Helm is purchased by Han. So again, he can walk up forward as long as he doesn't get picked up and thrown backwards into a chain CC combination from TS. He will be able to retain his position with the rest of the team during these Lord dances. And I think that's the scary part right now. Both sides understand that not... Oh, hold on. We're seeing that TS proactively trying to get something out of Yangon. It's the consistent push and pull, and like LaFell said, it's how creative you can actually get. You've got set plays, but of course, how do you make it all line up?
I guess it's through YG finding a big combo, but that's so hard to achieve as well.
I think it's a little bit more than that.
2 Purifiers are revitalized as well.
That's
now a BOD on Hiko.
He is massive, and they need to be able to cut those stacks in half. Half the problem is actually just finding Hiko. Exactly. And I think even Ying understands, it's like, man, around these neutral pits, they ring around and rosy us.
And even if they do, Gideon, Zaur is still there as the secondary carry, the man that's been targeted, that is giving Hiko space. If you go for Hiko, you give space to Zaur. They get the Mountain Chakra, they see Sanji up top, they go for the burst on the Lord, and it is not going to be contested. Han is way too far behind, 3 levels under.
This is fine, They still have some decent wave clear on their side. They might have to sacrifice an inhibitor, but honestly, at this stage of the game, you gotta sacrifice more than just that. So much heart has been put into these games, such a big difference, and there you go, flicker out from Sanji. The autopilot might have costed him this next push.
And now for Team Spirit, it's about building that lead again. It's about going back to basics, playing around the fundamentals that they've relied on their entire careers. Making it to this point, and again, winning through it. Small leads, building up. Now bot wave and the top wave coming down as well. Sanji, you gotta be careful, buddy. You got no flicker.
And now the siege begins. The ball lightning has already been thrown out. That's guaranteed to at least get 1 inhibitor here.
Zaur up top, dodges away from the swings, the slashes. Hiko in the mid lane, picking up the base turret. Lord already coming down as well, but YG are able to clear it. Bomba keeping those stacks alive, taking a shot on from the turret.
This is smart. This is smart. TS, they're trying to keep them to that top side to make sure that the bottom wave actually collapses and they can at least net themselves the long lanes inhibitor. That would be great, but they know that they've delayed it on purpose, so they're going to take it one by one.
Oh, Bomba baited everything. The ball lightning, the Thunder's Wrath. They got no resources now. It's all up to Ying and Blink.
This is immaculate wave control from Team Spirit. They're going to get this too, unless YG want to die for it. Winds of Nature purchased by Hiko, and I think that's the final nail that they were looking for.
We've had Lord Dance before. We've had some of these terms that we've seen. But Gideon, that was a Dragon Siege, that's for sure.
Oh my goodness. They've already climbed over the walls. And as everybody here,
they burned the walls down.
It's gone.
They flew by.
It's pure devastation on a macro level. Malefic gun purchased by Sanji. I don't even know if that's going to be enough, but he probably won't lose his Flicker to Sunset Lover again if that is the case. If he can kite him out, he can maintain his stacks.
He knows the Flicker was still down if he caught him.
Hey, he's got BMI. Sanji ain't gonna make mistakes like that, I hope. I hope and pray. We never know in these types of games, man. The pressure eventually gets to some of these players, and we'll either see them rise or fall.
And now we have to take a look at this goal difference. 11,000. Sanji, he was the main man to try to get on Hiko. Zaur as well, but now the Wind of Nature is built for Hiko. You can't even do that. Ying as well. What is that damage?
Hiko Mania coming back online. Now they're just gonna chase. Who's next? Blink on that Sun chopping block. You're gonna turn into a maniac or you're gonna make him a savage? TS, let's find out as they're knocking on the door here in game number 4.
Ying brought a katana to a gunfight. Hiko showed him exactly why you don't do that. Golden Hour. Sanji able to flicker out of the Golden Hour. Pops in the blazing duet already. But Hiko's gone like Zaur walks up. It's Hiko with the shots again. He finds another. And Team Spirit secure match point.
And you can see nobody on the side of Team Spirit. They're not jumping for joy just yet. They know that there is only one more game to become a champion. They've achieved match point.
To quote Sunset Lover after securing grand finals, job's not done. And it truly isn't done yet. Yangon Galacticos, they've been able to dig deep before. They've been able to come back before. Now 3-1. What do they need to pull it back?
Man, I want to say comfort picks. Most teams,
they got it. The Baksha was there.
Most teams, especially when pushed into these corners, they start playing the things, even if it's in a bad composition, just to feel comfortable, just to put everything on the line to say that we gave it our best shot. I think Yangon still have hope, but so far, these mid-games, and especially when it comes down to battling, these trench warfares between Spirit and Yangon Galacticos have always seemed to gone into the hands of Team Spirit if the early game isn't completely dominated by the Galacticos.
And you can see it again, man. These fights, it looked so good for YG. Up until Hiko said, nah, I'd win. He walks up there, he stays in the back, waits for everyone. The ego, not just in Zaur, but in Hiko. He literally waited for his teammates to die in front of him and he said, no, I can carry, I'll get these shots. And then when he was up ahead like this, he just takes those fights against a Benedetta. No problem.
So many battles that we've seen in the skies, but this is beyond our atmosphere. Let's throw it over to our panel and our analysts to break it down for you of how truly mythical this is.
Well, when you look at the competition that has been afoot here at MSC, we have seen some tremendous performances. But the way Hiko, Kid Bamba, Sawo, Sunset Lover, the rest of this Team Spirit roster, all the way from the very beginning, they have figured something out. They said it in scrims, they've proven it here, and they are one win away from being the, I guess, well, I'm going to say it, the best team in MLBB in the Galaxy. That's right, they are. And of course, that still means YG has a chance to respond. And we know that you watching in Myanmar are still supporting. There is still hope there, but there's just something that Team Spirit, I think Mirko said it, is in the air for this team.
Yeah, and even if we did hear Gideon say something about maybe reverting back to comfort as probably one of the go-to solutions to scenarios like this where you're just so far behind. I think we already saw that from Yangon. in the first two games, even maybe. They've been already trying to go for comfort, and now they took a different route. They became a bit more creative. We saw the intention, we saw the potential, but they just couldn't bring it to fruition.
I mean, like, here's the thing. It's hard to be comfortable when you're going up against Kid Bomba, because I think I said this yesterday, he is shaping up to be the most terrifying player in MLBB, because at this point, I don't know, man, he's a guy of nightmares. Like, as the saying goes, you can't reason with the dragon when your head is in its mouth. And the thing that Kid Bomba has been doing is just pure destruction. And if you want to go for comfort, sure. But deal with Kid Bomba for you to actually be comfortable. Until then, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's funny because, you know, I named 4 of the players on Team Spirit, and I didn't mention Zauer. And one of the reasons why is, again, he doesn't, at least from what I saw, have almost any deaths. And again, on the YSS, which has been a talking point, like, don't pick it. Why are you picking it? We haven't seen it work. Still finds a way to make it work. And Han reaching deeper and deeper into stuff that, you know, we're questioning, LaFell. But Team Spirit just feel like they're too comfortable across the board. And the thing that Zauer Eco is more about testament of everyone else. Everyone does so much that he's like, anything for me? Hello? Eco just goes in, gets maniacs, you know, gets a double, gets a triple, and he's like, I mean, sure. I mean, as long as we win, I guess.
Yeah, Hiko Mania is back. He came back in this game, especially. We didn't see a Savage. He was close to getting one. I think a couple times we saw a Maniac from him as well, but the way that he managed this even on a Ranger too. So that's something, right? That's something for Spirit, because they went in this game with a lineup with 2 heroes that you're just not so used to seeing anymore, especially in the current meta, but they find ways to make it work.
And the Baksha, the Benedetta coming out at the very end for YG. It didn't prove successful, but it did prove that they were willing to change things up. They know they need to do something different. And sometimes, LaFell, once you do get that answer, it could turn its head on a swivel. This could be a very fast 3-2 into a 3-3 and send us to a Game 7. But of course, you know, they've got to fix some of the stuff that you guys have pointed out on the desk, and obviously you pointed out within game that you want to bring up to our attention.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It's not that YG didn't try, right? YG, even with the draft, they tried to deal with the Uranus of Kid Bomba, but it's, I don't know, at this point, Kid Bomba feels inevitable, because here's the thing.
He's Thanos, man.
They already have this Baxia, where Baxia reduces the healing as well as the shield that the Uranus has. And yet, even with a very bursty, you know, always chasing kind of EXP laner, they still weren't able to do it. So I think this might just stump YG just a little bit, because it's not that they didn't have the idea of shutting down Kid Bomba. They invested 2 heroes into it. And yet it's still not enough, because as we're going to be looking at the clips here, again, like, one thing that I do have to say that is consistent with all of Team Spirit's wins is the fact that, you know about resources, right? You know, like abilities, ults, and all those kind of things. One other resource is HP. And we see that YG sacrificed a lot of the HP to get these neutral objectives. But when you're going up against a team with a Sky Piercer, that's going to be pretty difficult, because as we see here, the thing that I want everyone to see throughout all the clips is just the amount of HP that YG is willing to give throughout the poke that we're going to be seeing here. The poke coming in from the Yisun Shin, Sunset Lover, as well as Hiko. There are 3 members coming in from Team Spirit that can deal damage without putting themselves in harm's way. And even though this one, Zauer got it, but I feel like there's still a chance that Han was able to get it. But this is also another thing. This is not okay, Rain Day, which is after getting a neutral objective, go for the fight. A lot of teams do this, usually get punished. Team Spirit at this point is an anomaly about getting an objective and then continuing the fight. But again, look at the amount of HP that they have.
Yeah, look at that.
It's only Kid Bomba that is low, but hey, he's healing up every second. So it basically means that he hasn't lost HP. And then look at the HP of everyone else. Ying is low, Han is low. Even looking at Kaiser, basically almost everyone is half HP. We're going to be continuing on the clip to see the trend here. This is one of those moments where it's good attempt coming in from YG, securing this by the Belleric using the ult to stop the members of Team Spirit. But again, I'm going to be a broken record here. Look at all of the HP. Everyone is full except for YG, and then that just gives Team Spirit an avenue to just keep on going. this is the point where we thought things could turn things around just because the Eudora was able to hit the Thunder Wrap onto 3 members. But again, Kid Bomba being a nuisance just waits on that BMI. Sanji travels back, gets the kill. We're going to be continuing. This is, I think, the final clip here. And it's just the same thing. I'm going to try to reverse. Okay. Look at Han here. The thing about Han is that he took damage because of Sunset Lover. Sunset Lover in this matchup, he kind of doesn't care about too many people. It's just Han. Because what is Han going to do? He's a boxer. He's just going to stay there and then eventually get picked up. And something to think about as well is this is a Lord. Lord does true damage. And there's not a lot of heals, right, coming in from Yangon. Just look at who's healing here. Yeah. It's just the Belleric, but even Belleric, he has to hit someone for him to get the heal. Everyone's low HP, and then everyone from Team Spirit is basically full HP, so they just keep on going in, and by this point, there's enough Sky Piercer stack to help out Hiko to secure that Maniac. So yeah. I'm sounding like a broken record, but it's because it keeps on happening over and over and over again. That just shows what even our casters are talking about. Something with the pressure, you do crack a little bit, and I feel like how it does with YG is that they couldn't readjust. This draft is about those neutral objectives, but they sacrificed way too much to get those neutral objectives and then gave over a lot of Sky Piercer stacks. That's the reason they lost.
Yeah, a lot of times the game-changing plays, the game-dictating plays really happen during these objectives. It's sad to think that they may have had tools to deal with members one at a time, but the members that they really wanted to deal with the most were members that were out of reach. And it was only really Bomba who was making all of this possible.
He's too much.
He is too much. He is, as he said, inevitable.
Inevitable. It feels like they need a way to deal with Bumba. And I feel like you have to let other things go. You have to lose outside of the EXP lane. I think you have to let Zaur take on what he's going to take on. You can ban the Harara, and you can let him do whatever he's going to do. But I just think that when Bumba is in the lead, and we mentioned this from the very beginning, where the EXP lane helps the jungle succeed so much, you've now mentioned another layer which is so much more important, which is the spacing. And he is spacing out the rest of YG. They're respecting him way too much, and I don't think it's too much for what he's done. He's clearly been effective, but is there a hero, is there a setup that they could figure out Kid Bumba has to respect more so that he has to group up so that they can control more of the space?
So here's the thing, yes. And the answer is, if we look at all of the draft patterns, Bomba's heroes are usually picked first. The one time he was picked last is on that Sora.
That's right.
Right? So as long as the Uranus, Esmeralda, and likes are open, then he will pick it up first. But then, here's where the problem lies. I feel like even with a counter matchup, Bomba can outplay it.
He can still do it.
That's the problem. I mean, like, the idea is there, the theory is there. Execution, way different topic.
Yeah.
It's a good point. They may just be out of picks, out of options. I mean, YG are staring a loss, straight down. And I don't know, Greg. I think how you lose is important. This isn't it yet, but they've got to give something else, a different taste, a different look.
Yeah.
Do you feel like if they're going to go all in on solving one problem, it has to be Bumba? Does it have to be Zaur? Does it have to be Hiko? Sunset? Who is the one problem, if you had to choose one, they would need to solve?
It's tough because I think they tried to do a lot at once. It's taking out the Barretts already from Bomba. It's taking out the Paquito already from Hiko. It's taking out whatever they can, especially if they're on, let's say...
Second pick, they have to take out a Freya.
Yeah, so I think they've tried to deal with the most difficult ones, but more and more problems just keep coming out.
But do you then need to go away from taking Claude early and need to prioritize something in the desperation for, okay, we need a better mid laner. If we don't, it's going to get banned out. Like, they're getting Zushins, Eudoras, they're getting picks like that without really working hard for them. So maybe they just need to say, let's let the Claude go. Sanji, you're going to have to pick up a little bit of the slack here. And we're going to force them to say, hey, you want to pick up Bombas? You're going to lose big time in mid.
Brigida as well as Rain Day, this kind of shows the strength that Team Spirit has, where if there are more bans, it will hurt YG more than Team Spirit. Because here's the thing, imagine if YG bans out 5 EXP laners. Bomba still has something up his sleeve. Like the Lapu isn't contested. And yet look at how strong he is on that one. We cannot say the same thing with YG for now because, like you said, it's always the Claude.
Yeah.
The worry is if they don't pick up the Claude, they pick up something else, it's not going to be as good. Because right now, this is the biggest strength that Team Spirit has shown. It really doesn't matter what you ban. Our book of heroes is just way more than you.
I agree. Because I think some of the biggest threats to YG and their hero pool as well are even bigger when you look at it at Team Spirit and when they get their hands on it. So it's weird to say, but it's YG right now forced to ban out most of their comfort and their stronger picks.
Yeah, it's true.
So they're pushed to a spot where they have to bring out more, but then it's solved by Spirit. So I think that's a question for YG right now that they're in this position. Do they have even more? Because they tried. They've been creative with the Baksha Benedetta, but it did not work.
But that goes to our other conversation is Team Spirit fans ready to erupt, getting excited. YG as well. But I think it just has to be, as you see a little back and forth there, it's just got to be, okay, we've taken a lot away.
Yep.
What can we open up then? Because if the answer isn't to take away, then the answer has to be either to execute better or to open things up.
I would say the Hail Mary is let Bomba take whatever,
leave Paquito out,
and then completely ignore him. Meaning, okay, ban out the Barats, but try to ignore Bomba and try to basically get the other 4 members. But the reason why that can't happen is we see how Sunset Lover never gets caught. Hiko is also very hard to catch. And Zara Egoist, he has died like, I don't know, maybe 3 times this tournament. I have no idea. So it's easier said than done. Either you ignore Bomba or put everything onto him. Doesn't matter. It's still going to be bad.
Well, Zushin picked up, and I think for YG, that's got to spell a little sense of comfort heading their way, even though there's nothing exciting about seeing Kid Bumba and Zauer Egoist in those first 2 pick positions for Team Spirit.
You might be right,
Kid. What do we want?
Yeah, you might be right.
I'm just saying you might be right, Kid.
Because it was written Kid Bomba Finals MVP in the placards.
Oh.
if we do, can kind of seal the series here, but speaking of, it's a flex. The Paquito gets
They
open.
leave the Paquito open. I mean, that's the only way to do it.
Damn if you do, damn if you don't, right? No matter what you ban out, something is let through that you're like, come on, man. Come on. Why does it have to be like this?
Yeah, which I feel like is, yes, still a flex, but maybe they might be a bit more cautious about this because the Juicin showing up would mean that YG might be a bit more okay to doing the fighters in the lineup.
So Guinevere picked up here as well.
Okay, they changed. They changed the sequence.
Because Guinevere
and
keeps
the
getting
Arlet,
banned.
so they don't go for the Claude anymore.
Good luck on finding a job. We're praying for you, buddy. A job is hard to get nowadays. Hey, maybe you can try being a player. Either ways, YG right now, in terms of going for comfort, I like this because this both ignores as well as prioritize Bomba because this is a good team fight lineup. A lot of crowd control, a lot of continuous damage. It really does come down to what the roamer is going to be. Hopefully just provides us a little bit more damage. If not, it's okay. The Gwyn can build a concentrated energy and they should be fine with that. So I'm liking YG's opening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because so far, I think they can use a lot of combos still with this lineup. I think the Guinevere Arlot already in itself is a combo. There's just so much more knock-up, honestly.
I feel like they also have to be careful because, again, Bomba has a lot of heroes. His Alice is good against this Arlet. Not sure if it will get picked up, but stuff like Uranus, High Loss, Alice, all these kind of heroes are good against the Arlet. So, and even Yuzong, so...
This is just one of the first times we have seen a clear shift away from Sanji's comfort back to Ying. And you're right in mentioning that this feels good. They're also taking away the Uranus and they're taking away the Lapu Lapu, which again focuses on that EXP lane. The blue band on the other side because they're still looking for a roam. Beleric and Atlas gone.
Yeah.
And so where does that leave us?
So the Atlas is still open.
Wait, who else
Atlas
is looking for a job? He's a cameraman now.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, that's good for you, man. EWC is a good event for you to work on. There you go. Shout out to this guy. I was doing a good job though, because if he was terrible, then hey, work for 2 hours, get fired.
Yeah. Oh.
A Fovi. Again, there's so many counters towards the Arlet, so yeah. But hey, at least they have a Zushin. The Zushin can fight against the Phovius, same as the Gwyn, so it's not all doom and gloom just yet.
There's nothing else you could have taken away though at this point. They've banned EXP lane and Kid Bumba specials as much as they could without letting an Atlas through. So it's like, I feel like YG's saying this is all we can do.
Now the problem is they know it's going to be a Paquito gold.
Yeah.
So what do they pick up that don't lose immediately? They pick up the Brody as well as the Badang here. This is basically going all in team fight. One of the worries is that only the Gwyn can handle the long lane, but hey, if you win all the team fights and the game by 11, it's good anyways.
How's the spacing on this? Does this solve that problem of the zone that we've been seeing Team Spirit create with Kid Bumba?
I still feel like it's gonna favor Spirit more. That's a Phobius and a Paquito who can independently just find and create the openings, and they finish off with a Selena. Okay, so that's, I think, a keyword for at least this matchup. Spirit can be more individual. Yangon, they are desperately required to work together.
So how YG wins if they punch first, and how Team Spirit wins is if they slip the punch and then hit with the haymaker. So I don't know, man. YG, this is a good draft, but requires a lot of good execution and hoping for your opponents to miss.
Last time Cold Star did something like that before heading to the back room, it was Team Spirit who won. If it happens again, they are not only going to win, they will be the winners of $1 million and that trophy in the middle of the Lenovo Legion Gauntlet. Your MSC champions. Could it be Team Spirit? If they win this game, it will be. But Yangon Galacticos trying to claw it back and force another game. We'll see what happens here as the stage is set for glory.
A set so beautiful that it can only be prophesied. You can hear it in the atmosphere. You can hear it in the wind. This could be their moment. This could be the day, unless Yangon Galacticos can stop them to turn and start a potential reverse sweep. We come here at match point game number 5 here at the Mid-Season Cup 2026 here at the Esports World Cup. And Team Spirit have been so close. They've been working so hard for this. Yet you would imagine that at least for the Yangon Galacticos, that maybe this is God-given.
Could be, especially considering if you look at how Yangon Galacticos have decided to draft, how they've decided to play. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Han, after the purple buff, goes straight into the bush, looking for a gank, looking for an advantage early, and Spirit, as calm as can be, playing around again, punishing those mistakes. They see Han up top, Zara goes down below.
They got to be hyper efficient. Looking at the emblems, the only thing, oh man, extra sustainability for Han. Not going for Season Hunter this time. Wants to actually play for these fights. And if they just win the fights, the neutral objectives will naturally come as well.
It's the same choice of emblems from yesterday against Falcons PH for Yangon Galacticos as Han. It's back to just setting up for the rest of the team, being okay, maybe less farm than Zar Ego is, but at this point I think he needs to just accept that. Zar has gapped them in terms of farm in the last 4 games. Even when they were winning, it was Team Spirit who still were able to even it out with for Zauer.
And this is in consideration of everything that has happened in this game, right? They're reading into the behavioral patterns that TS have kind of put before them. In Yangon, you could see a lot of preliminary early motions, right? Get that quick push on that top side, come down to mid lane. Oh!
Stun lands, gonna get a lot of damage. Now the Violent Requiem as well. They play for the strong side. Sanji is him. That's first blood over to YG.
Now, as long as they delay this turtle for as long as they possibly can, that's gonna be more and more gold falling into the hands of Sanji. Good Abyssal Arrow here onto Kaze, but so far, TS, they don't want to punish this just yet. They got bigger fish to fry.
Another arrow into the deadly magic and the poker trick, but Blink gets away in time, gets into the bush. And Han will still be able to farm up. Now the question is, how do they stop Zauer from snowballing through farm?
Well, it's about making sure that people are there to body block the right targets. Kid Bumba might be in some trouble here.
Violent Requiem into the final slash earlier. YG showing signs of life.
They're fighting back. They got hit on the chin a couple of times. A little dazed, a little wobbly, but doesn't mean it's over. Blink able to get at least a champion stance out of Hiko. Now golden hours have been dropped down. A lot of the motions that we see on the map for the side of TS is poking and prodding, right? And forcing out ults coming out from every single lane.
And it's this combo, the Arlet and the Guinevere, that has gotten them so many wins in Myanmar as well in their MSL. For Team Spirit though, it's again just playing through the meta. It's them just building these leads, and for YG, It's about ganking Bomba again, and again. That's a second one, back to back.
Tell me that isn't just picture perfect. Picture perfect-esque even. There's plenty of vengeance, and now looking for that punish once more, forcing Hiko to flicker back out. Torn apart memories as well being thrown just to make sure that he stays and losing out as much health as possible. This is a really dangerous game because Yangon, their entire composition, a majority of their early game damage is going to come down from Sanji, but of course the vengeance coming in from Ying, everybody can enable him.
So YG got the lead early. They didn't get the neutral objective, but it's A-okay because they were able to pick up 3 kills. All of them on the hands of the targets you want to see in the early game. It's on Ying, it's on Han, it's on Sanji. Now the turtle spawns. And YG side of the map. In the Brody side, Sawo able to escape. The arrow lands on Ying, but now it's all a race to get to this turtle.
Yep, they're trying to use the extra bonus movement speed to take first position. Blink back on the Minesweeper job. Got to get rid and clear these traps as much as possible to deny information from their opponents. But Sawo, he's going for more here, right? Focusing not only on that mid wave, but disrupting that backline for now as they get into the neutral fight.
Zara gets away. Now, instant final slash into the Requiem, but the Golden Hour catches him. And about Requiem's going to be baited. Fist crack him in as Han is able to get the Requiem, but Bomba's stuck.
They got to get rid of him, and now they finally do. Han takes him out, and they even get one more in Hiko. If they get a third, it's guaranteed. The snowball has begun for the Yangon Galacticos. 2.6k already, right at the 4-minute mark.
And that's the explosion that we were waiting for Yangon Galacticos. Even in the previous game, how can they push it forward? How can they push the lead even further through a fight around the neutral objective? Team Spirit have played it so clean in the last few games, but here it was YG with their comfort, AOEing, not giving Team Spirit a chance to react.
This is a huge build of confidence for Yangon at the very least, right? Even Ying flickering final slashing just to make sure that he can cover not only Bomba, but just in case somebody was behind him in that bush, he covers those angles instantly. And that's something that right now, TS, hey, early game's kind of done here. Finding these individual targets has been a lot harder because Yangon, they've decided to tactically split up their squad. 2s and 2s. Get your pairings on either side, play around Sanji, and he is going to be the ballista that breaks down the turrets.
That's the siege, that's the catapult, that's the ballista, that's everything. The whole siege unit is that Brody. But you have to usher him through. He's a very vulnerable target. Bomba, though, on the Phobius here, not having a good game. Now going to get pinned down again. Sawo has a golden hour, is able to find 2. Now the rest of the team comes corralling on Sanji. Flickering out to safety, but Bomba's going to be caught in the stun. Now Ying with the final slash into the spatial migration.
Beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. This combination between Ying and Han has been ridiculous. And if you think that's not the end of it, well, guess what? The truth is it isn't. They still have Kaiser and as well as Blink as major follow-up tools or engagement tools. It really doesn't matter who shows up first as long as Ying is nearby. And I think that Zara, this is going to be a pretty tough game for him. His base HP isn't that high. He's going for that concentrated energy, knowing that he's going to be a primary target for a lot of the members of YG. And here we go, once again, they find a combo!
Oh, spatial migration and the Violet Requiem. Sao's gonna be taken out, and now it's Sao. Double, they want a triple! Spatial migration lands again, Bomba's low! And Ying picks up the mega kill. Team Spirit can only just look for a trade in the bottom lane.
Yep, chain CC perfectly. Hit Bomba, unfortunately unable to start using his ult to dodge abilities. Just it wasn't given the space, the time, and more importantly, it just wasn't a free frame for him. I bet he was spamming it at some point in that fight, but he knows that unless it's underneath his turret, it's the only way to keep him safe. And even then, Bomba decided, no, not yet, not like this. We'll take the trade. That's all it's going to be. Sawo a little disappointed, of course, but hey, this is match point. Hey. It was never going to be that easy.
They want to get Hiko next. Spatial migration already there. Blink. He's going to be looking for it. He finds the punch. He gets the fist crack, and now the pin down with the Violet Requiem.
Oh, this Badang is doing so much work here. There's so many things that Badang can cancel out. Oh, wait, hold on.
Golden Hour, Sawo playing around with the Kaiser now with the Lantern Flare on Sawo. Ooh, almost Vengeance coming down as well. Sawo is able to get away. Zaur is trying to farm on the other side of the map.
It's tough, it's tough. Let's look at the replay one more time here because that flicker from Hiko caught beautifully by Blink. Well, he is not missing right now, and he's back on that comfort. This is a composition that they played many, many times, whether broken apart, but now finally as a unit this time. War Axe already completed by Hiko. I'm not sure about this one.
Uh-oh, Violet Requiem, but this time there's no Han to play it around. This crack coming down with the pin as well. Hiko gonna be caught in the tough spot now. Oh my god, big stun! Sanji in the back, just doing damage, free hitting everybody. Hiko's dead for the 4th time this game.
It's a rat trap. It's a dirty rat trap here from the side of Yangon. Every single time TS tries to overstep their boundaries, it's an instant punish here, and it feels like it never ends. There's just so much CC on Yangon's side that you cannot just send one member, you have to send a multiple. And even so, Sunset Lover now losing a lot of the structures from his side of the base. He has a lot less play area, a lot less ways to maintain important vision over key parts of the map.
Right now, Bomba and Hiko are at a combined 0-9-0. These side laners are just not having a good time with Blink, Han, and Ying constantly CC locking them. Not even Sour, dude.
Yeah, Blink has been playing a strong game, but now here comes the Conceal. Let's see.
It's kind of crazy. He goes straight onto Kaise. He's able to escape, but the Deadly Magic is right on him. It takes down out of the Golden Hour. He's able to save him for the Battle Requiem, and now it's going to be the all-out.
And now they keep on moving forward. They have to go for the chase. Kid Bomba is going to be left all on his own as Hans chases the rest. Killing spree for Sanji at this stage of the game. Zaur for Kaise, and of course, the Lord goes into the hands of the Yangon Galacticos.
Desperate from Team Spirit, but that's the only thing they could do. It's either that or they sit quietly in their base waiting for the Lord to come through, and that's a DHS for Sanji.
Holy cow, 14-1. 14-1 to get some momentum back. And Han, he's more than happy to start using that Magic Thumb to get in and out of these fights. And again, they're daring TS even. They're saying, you know what, you did this all past 2 games. Not this time. It's our turn to have a little bit of fun. Blow off some steam.
14-1 in our game number 5. This was possibly it for TS, but YG, they're showing how tenacious they could be. They're showing how good they can be in these series and that mental fortitude that they have in a best of 7.
It's a lot of heart here, a lot of heart. It must be really, really exhausting to make sure that you're communicating with every aspect of your team. Usually, the combo is just a 1-2 punch. They've got 3, 4, and 5 ready to set up for you just in case. But now, they're attacking at least top T2, but at the same time, they're giving up on bottom inhibitors.
This is the only thing Team Spirit can do. Again, just reacting to the plays and looking for the trade. Zaur goes in, Blink with the whip on it. Fist crack already there. The Golden Hour saving Bomba. Is that going to be the missile arrow to the back line? And Sanji's able to flick around to safety. As now he goes on Hiko.
They're still going to go forward. Hiko ends up trading, and now they're on the chase.
Bomba again with the dog wave on Sanji, but he's going to get taken down by Ying. That's again on the back line. Sanji leaving the free hits on Sauro. Last shot as he gets pinned down, and Blink picks up a double, and Sunset Lover is going to be caught on their turret. Han, right there. Again, the arrow does not land, and Zaur is able to keep the minions from coming into the base.
How many more seconds until they have left? Not enough time! And there you have it, a convincing game for the Yangon Galacticos, turning it 3-2.
It ain't over. Not like that.
Oh my God, there's so much heart in these games. There's so much, not only the tenacity, but you can feel it in the play. They are not gonna go down like this.
It's the grand finals of MSC, the most unpredictable MSC EWC ever. Of course we're going to a Game 6. Now the question is, are we going to a Game 7?
We pray for a Game 7. TS fans, they want to end it right here, right now, but God, these games are too good to let go. However, the snowballs have been significant. This game ended 17-2, so we're talking about built-up confidence and disrespect for the side of TS. It has been crushed here, so they need a clean game if they want a championship.
And again, it's YG going back to their comfort, not just trying to play the meta game. They brought out the Baksha, it didn't work out. They doubled down. They said, all right, Han, put him on the Guinevere, put him on a team fighter, put him on an enabler for Ying, for Kaise, for Sanji, for Blink on the Badang with a fantastic performance.
We have to eventually decide on an MVP, but my God, Blink played a beautiful game.
My God.
Predicted flickers, Ying catching people, so many goddamn times. There's no better way to describe it. He has played so well on his comfort. I don't know if he's going to get it again. And I also don't think Ying is going to get that Arlet anymore.
I don't know though, because if you want to take away the Arlet, you gotta let go of some of these meta picks, and Ying is a monster. He's an apex predator, you could say, on those picks.
He's an absolute beast, but we're gonna see whether the panel agrees with this panel. Break it down.
Okay, that means we might be going to another Game 6, or could we get a Game 7?
Hey, honestly, after how many years?
You missed this opportunity right here. I cannot believe you two missed the opportunity for a game 6 or 7.
I failed as a human.
What is they haven't had. You know what? I put them on the spot, guys. I think I win.
I failed.
I think I finally cracked you guys.
I am disappointed in you and myself.
Pause.
I am.
But we got good games, though.
Yes,
how many years?
I am only not disappointed at the result of this series.
How many years, Brig, that we have 4-0 on grand finals? Now it's 3-2.
Well, it's been since me and Mar maybe in the grand finals, maybe 6 years ago. Was that 6 or 7?
6.
Now they're doing it.
But the camera's not on us. Camera.
They went to my solo on that. They're trying to make you guys look bad.
I know.
They don't have to try. We can do it by ourselves.
YG
we can make ourselves look bad. It's okay.
In an incredible game, and they prioritize Ying. And I think the biggest thing about Ying is it's the name we gave him, Undying. But it's more than that. It's the Arlet. It is, they don't have an answer for the Arlet. There was no answer on the other side yesterday in the semis for the Arlet. And the Guinevere as a result to follow up, Brig. I know you're pointing at that saying, yeah, that was a big deal.
You would assume they had answers to the Arlet, though, because they had Phoveus.
Not Ying's Arlet.
I mean, like, Phoveus does have a bad time against, let's see here, but Dung, Zushin, and in a way, Guinevere as well.
Yeah, that's true. So at least for the laning, you would think that they did, but everything else, Ying was Undying. He was free.
Wait, speaking of, I remember one other time Kibomba used the Phoveus.
Yeah.
And it was this as well. I think it was against Vamos, where Vamos used Zushin and Hylos. Yeah, pretty good memory. I'm impressed with myself.
Same. He has very impressive memory.
I can't remember most people's names, but I can remember draft picks.
It's true, it's true. He has impressive memory.
That is a pretty good memory,
Only with MLBB. Only with MLBB.
Okay, that's it. But you remembered it was Rhino Day, right?
It's been Rhino
How
Day
could you
for
forget?
3 weeks. How can Rhino Day be 3 weeks?
Guys, this is actually interesting because I think the energy, and especially when you are at home watching and you're looking at this set, you see the 3-1, I think you start to slip into, well, it's looking like Team Spirit. And then bam, Yangon Galacticos answer back, but not just quickly and not just with this Arlet, but convincingly across the board with everyone. And it doesn't look like the same matchup anymore. And that's what we hope from a grand final, Brig. How were they able to, and I know LaFell, you've got some clips as well, turn this around so convincingly? Have they solved something?
I think they got back to what we said about the front lines being just as terrifying as they should be. Because
terrifying.
That works, right?
Terrifying. Yeah.
Which do you prefer, Undying or Terrifying?
Terrifying Undying.
I feel like we can interchange. If he doesn't die, Undying.
And Terrifying if he's like aggro and gets a lot of kills.
5 kills or something.
I like him, man. I think use both.
Yeah, I will use both, but I agree. I guess a lot of it started with him. And these are I think, a better combination of their comfort picks.
Yeah.
The Badang is a comfort pick, the Arlot is a comfort pick, the Josin, and they pretty much completed what they lacked in the first game.
Yeah.
Or first 2 games, I'd say.
And they let the Paquito go. I mean, that was the first game that they let the Paquito go after they got burned with it in game 1. And I think that worked.
I mean, like most things in life, a lot of things can be solved with violence, you know? And that's what we saw from YG. I feel like they understood in the previous drafts, they don't have enough violence.
Okay.
So just get a little bit more. Right? Let's look at the Telestrator, right?
Okay, let's go to Telestrator, please. Yeah. I don't know where this is going, but let's go to Telestrator.
Thank you very much. All right, so here's the thing that we got to talk about, right?
Yeah.
The fact that for how many? Like maybe 3 games where we see both the Gwyn as well as the Arlet being banned out, and the moment they get picked up, all of a sudden they look amazing. And speaking of why they look amazing is because of all the control that they have. They have 4 members here with a lot of control. The Badang creates a wall, making it so that you can't escape, and then Gwyn jumps in as well. Like, there's a lot of chain CCs that this is why I say that this is a very good team fight comp. And I think this is just the comfort of YG. They like to fight, so why stray away from it, right? We're going to be looking at some of the clips here. And then, in terms of the clips, it really is just about abandoning your brain.
Yeah.
Don't think about it. Just do it. Not sponsored by anyone, but just do it, right? We're gonna see about how they just jump in and then they just go in for the fight. You like that joke? Yeah, thank you very much. We're gonna see that this Badang make it so that they can't run away, and then at that point, it's easy pickings for Han as well as Ying, right? I mean, like, Han did his job. His duty where... Wait, no, you know what? Never mind.
What'd you say?
He is able to go in and enable his team to do well. If they keep this up, this is how they deal with Team Spirit. Hey, Spirit, you like the fight? Well, we like it too. At this clip, this also just shows I would say the range of all the heroes that Team Spirit has, because we see that they are quite far away, and yet once an engage happened with the Badang, they basically get to engage very instantly. Look at that range, how quickly they get onto their targets.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is the key to victory for YG. Having a draft that can fight at even long distances, making it so that Team Spirit can't respond as well. So I really feel like with the draft that they have here, going back into this one, they were able to shut down Bomba just by having this, by having the Zushin as well as the Gwyn. Even though, yes, the Arlet does get taken down by the Phoveus, but honestly, as long as you have the Zushin, it's all good. So I feel like for YG, they just have to hope that the Arlet doesn't get banned out, because even you talk about this behind the scenes, like, other than Arlet, what else do they have?
Yeah.
That's the bluff I would want to call at this point. But it also requires team spirit, and I think Cold Star is very smart. He's shown that he's set his team up with a lot of good drafts. But an analytical mind would go and say, I think we focused on taking the Harara away all the time. We don't like to give it away. That's been their third ban almost all the time. Now, with the Paquito gone, you're still taking the Harara away, but to me that seems like you don't want Zauer to lose the matchup to Han. But if they recognize that if Ying gets ahead of Kid Bomba, this is maybe YG's series, I think they have to now focus some more of those picks onto making sure that the Arlet gets banned, potentially in the first phase. I know it's a risk, but I think because YG won, they might have put the pressure on Team Spirit to respond.
That's actually a really good point, because I think Yangon are not on the same page. They have a different mindset about this. They have a different approach. It's not like they're worried about Zar at all. It's not like they're very careful about what gets into his hands. It's more of how they can draft accordingly to their strengths, which I think they lacked in the first two games. But now they had much better relationships with each other in terms of picks. So their picks had much better synergy.
More harmony.
And that was maybe something that we saw became a struggle for Team Spirit this time, because they were maybe a bit too fixated on just winning matchups, getting the winning lanes.
I agree. Yeah.
In the sides, we saw that. You assume that they get that because it's a Paquito. It wins over more or less majority of the gold lanes, but the Brody was a bit different. And Kid Bomba on this Phoveus too somehow got to manage the Arlot.
We would like to apologize to Kid Bomba and Mom Bomba and Sis Bomba. I feel like we cast a curse Bomba a little bit too much. We're gonna pull it back.
We did.
Hopefully it's just that game that we cursed him. Now it should be solid ground.
But at the end of the day, it literally, maybe we're starting neutral now, okay? So everything is a clean slate from now on. YG got their licks back. Here's the question. Does Kid Bomba have another game as you're wading in the water, swimming, right? Trying to get back to the shore. Is it going to be Kid Bomba that takes you there? Is that the one who's going to be in the charge, pulling people who can't quite make it, who can't sustain themselves? I think it is. And if you're Team Spirit, and I want you guys to think about this. I don't want you to just take me lightly. Think about it. Lean back. Stare into the sky. I just feel like that's got to be the answer. That's got to be the focus. It has become an EXP battle for me. That's where my eyes have gone.
100%.
But,
and I feel like the way that I feel like even less on the draft, I feel like this is just reminding the players of Team Spirit, be like, okay, that's what they can do, right? They have incredible engage. So I feel like if somehow YG gets roughly the same draft again, I feel like this time the players are like, okay, let's just not get caught by the Badang or the Gwyn, and then we should be able to outplay it. With that being said, I don't think they will get the same draft, but if somehow they do, I feel like the players would just react much differently this time.
That could be the case. Okay, Paquito was something we said, will we not see it? We didn't see it. That opened up the draft. The Barat's probably going to stay banned. But will who will take the onus of banning it? Because the Freya has been consistent, the Fanny has been consistent for red side. If we will see that again, it'll be the choice of Harara banned, or if we'll see a target ban on red side, which would open up this conversation again for the EXP lane to maybe get an advantage. Atlas has been banned every single game as well, Brick.
Yeah, it's at least ever since the loss that YG went through for the first 2 games, we've never really seen the Barretts nor the Atlas even out there anymore, which I think kind of made it a bit more flexible for the Jusins and the like to come through.
That's right.
But in that scenario, I think the Jusin was a big problem for Team Spirit as well. So let's see who gets on blue side and who gets on red side, because I think that will significantly impact the outcome of this game. We're on Flying Clouds too, which I think will accelerate the pace. And it's Spirit who gets on blue, but this time...
Holy moly.
No Guinevere.
And no Freya. Oh no, but they force Yangon to ban the Freya and the Barats and the Atlas. They don't, and this leaves the Harara to them, so we see the priority.
Yeah, and I feel like the Gwyn is honestly a good ban because, like I said, the distance itself is already the problem, right? Arlet needs to get close, and then he can come in. But yeah, that Gwyn is too much.
But isn't this the same problem that YG will have to face? Aren't they forced to pick up the Paquito here?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I feel like
no Claude.
Well, they have a Brody, yes.
Yeah, I'm just worried that Sanji hasn't really used fighters in the gold lane, right? So I'm worried that it's good on paper.
Yeah.
But if the guy can't use a fighter, is this really...
That's why.
Is this really where you want to force it out, where Team Spirit is match point?
Yeah, that's why, because it's likely to go over to their side if they don't. So they decide to switch it up, and this time, they'll pick up the Paquito.
Could this be a flex?
I'm not sure if it's... Hopefully it is, because I don't want to think that they were just pressured to pick it up.
It could be jungle, it could be EXP.
What if this is EXP? And this goes.
I think it's better. I think it's better EXP. But again, we got to look at the matchup because not every matchup the Paquito can win. If Team Spirit picks up the Esmeralda, maybe they have to think about putting the Paquito somewhere else.
But it's nice because they still keep their cards close to their chest. They say this could be that, so Team Spirit can't just pick blindly in EXP. They do have to respect that. What happens if we're going up against Paquito? Do we need a winning matchup for that specifically?
Yeah, because I don't think Yangon has really ever utilized the Paquito in gold.
Wow.
In EXP, I don't think so too. So this is a new hero pick that they will be picking up. It's a clear attempt to adjust from Yangon's side.
Honestly, that's why I feel like this might be jungle. Might. Just because they are a team that likes to win those neutral objectives, and Paquito is one of those that has quite good burst damage with the red tree, so maybe they can take it. Which, by the way, Melissa has been banned quite a few times by YG, and this time Team Spirit picks it up. Let's talk about why this is important.
Yeah.
YG wants to dive, wants to win the fights.
Yep.
What are you going to do when she uses the go away? So I feel like this is the response that Team Spirit has. If you want to come in, try. We already have an answer for that.
Go ahead.
Which I feel is something they have to resolve through their mid lane. So
I agree.
The Eudora Gord options are still there, but since they prioritized gold and revealed that it is either jungle or Paquito XP, they might lose out on more options in the mid lane later on.
They keep their EXP open though, and that you know, and again, Paquito can still flex. We know that we still have the Claude going in, so he's not going gold, but they are still focusing on trying to see if they can get Ying an advantage. And even though Esmeralda is out, and that's a great EXP lane, with the Eudora ban, it seems like they're also focusing on limiting the options that Sunset Lover can play.
Which I thought is something they would rather pick.
The other options, I would say there's 3, because I feel like you need long range to do with this Melissa, right? You want to cast Merca? I mean, like,
Arlet ban.
You can try. The Farsa. The Farsa has enough damage. The problem is Melissa can get into range. So that's something that you got to consider. Eve also has the range, which kind of, you know, not so great going up against Esmeralda.
No, yeah.
And then the last one is Zetienne, where Zetienne is pretty okay, especially if they want a lot of team fight. The problem is she takes a while.
And I don't think it's
the other one is Selena, but that one... Yeah, both of them, I'm sure they have good Selena, so why not?
Yeah. Because even the burst is going to be a problem, I feel, for the Zetian. Maybe in the early they can manage a bit, but...
At level 12, it's okay, but getting to level 12 is the problem.
Yeah.
It seems like YG's really focused on hard stuns or potential counter initiation. They want the Paquito to run free because they picked it, and it's got to do the work of a Harara, right? Because they traded that out, and they're they're saying we're going to work with the Paquito. So Minotaur Eudora can really stop or create good counter engage or initiation. The Dairoth picked up as well, guys.
Yo.
You know what? Shout out to the crowd. You guys are amazing.
Holy.
Some might even say amazing.
Are we pushing?
Well, the Dairoth gets picked up, so I was right. This is going to be a Paquito jungle. But again, Dairoth has its goods and bads. I would say in MSC we've seen quite a lot of the bad. Like, he can win the lane, but what's next?
Yeah, I think it was Falcons PH2 who were the first ones to use it. Slap already using it. Not necessarily reflects a good standing as KDA-wise most of the time. It's just really to match and answer the Esmeralda, which I think, again, is a question we raised. How they answer Bomba. How can they kind of shut down Bomba?
Yeah.
But Spirit, they've locked in a Valentina and a Gatot Kacha. That's more ways for them to stop YG and all their fighters.
I know, that is really rough, guys, to go against. We're looking at that final pick, and it's going to be in the mid lane.
I feel like if they can get a hero with Croc Control, they pick up the Rafa. Taking notes from Aurora, and we see the reaction coming in from Team Spirit. It looks like they didn't see this coming. And I like this pick because the Dairoth can shred armor. So it doesn't matter the armor that you have. The Claude and the Paquito will be able to do enough damage. This Rafa giving that sustain.
Whoa.
This is a very interesting draft, and I can see it working.
Well, YG just bet $500,000 on it, because that's what's at stake here. $1 million goes to Team Spirit. Cold Star happy again with the draft. Yangon Galacticos trying to tie it up and send us to a Game 7. What a time here at MSC. I hope it continues as we send it over to Gideon and Mirko.
I agree. Everybody needs to start praying at this point. Everybody is looking for their team to make it to the very end. Here at match point, the pressure is still on Yangon, and they basically have come up with a more interesting draft, a different sign, a different means to attack this potential championship point. We come down to game number 6, and by God, if this isn't a marathon, and almost immediately Sawo starts off with a pretty good taunt here at level 1, just to make sure that Yangon, they can't walk freely.
They gotta. YG, their main win condition is playing through these fighters and just going all in with the healing, trying to out-sustain Team Spirit, so they gotta try to establish some lane dominance at the start of the game.
Yeah, not to mention they were also getting Pull Yourself Togethers from Sunset Lover as well. He wants to make super plays of his own, either stealing away some pretty good ults, but most likely going to be that Wrath of the Dryads. First invasion here, it's going to be a little difficult. Han is on level 4, but still has plenty of damage, and Sawo zones him away.
Ooh, Sawo with the Rectory able to pick it up. Han trying to deal a little bit more damage, but it only lands on Sawo, so that ends up just being a win straight up for Spirit.
And maybe this could be the answer that they were looking for, right? Sanjin as well as Hiko, it's still going to be a little tough between the two at the bare minimum. Both going for Quantum Charge here. Down by, oh, hold on, first blood achieved. Oh, maybe, oh, Blink gets out of there.
Clutch flicker from Blink to get away, to evade from a possible first blood, to send Team Spirit into that spiral of snowball.
Man, this game has got me, even me, antsy. I don't know when the next big play is going to come, but at least we know.
Uh-oh, Kai's in a bit late. Oh my God, it's gonna be the regen, the last hit, the flicker out. No way.
How? He managed, he's got like no HP. He's literally at 1. You don't even see the green in his health bar anymore. As now they attack the bottom side. They got the Purify out of Kid Bomba. This upcoming turtle is going to be highly contestable, but Ying needs to dominate. He needs to show control over this lane and make sure that they have first position.
Whoa, Sawo, what? Face check in the bush against a Dairoth, gets insta-bursted down. Now it's Sawo with Revitalize, able to get the taunt as well, but the rest of the team comes around, and Ying gets a double.
Damage is good. Wrath of the Dryads is already out, but they have to back away from this. This is an unwinnable position for Team Spirit, and Yangon take the very first turtle of the game.
Big taunt, Sunset Lover as well with the face check. Team Spirit getting a bit too impatient with these openings.
Is it impatient or was it necessary? I don't know. It's a tough call here because now they're going once again attacking onto Kit Bomba's side. And I think it's just a little bit of disrespect coming in from Sawo. Wasn't really expecting to get knocked up out of his taunt by Han. But at the end of the day, it happens. But it's not the end of the world. The lead is still very minute. We haven't gotten to the dangerous 2K territory, but we're basically a quarter to halfway there. With 10 more seconds left on the clock before that orange buff alongside with the Lethal Wanderer. Let's see how TS is going to play, because again, at this stage, you might as well invade that top side, steal away one green camp, probably omit the next objective, and try to set up to get Sanji's Purify.
Oh, they're trying to corral over Han. Taunt doesn't land. Now they're all in over. Knockout strike as well. Oh my god, Sawo just so low. Ying gonna be able to pick up a kill spree as Sunset Lover steals away the Holy Baptism, but now he's gonna be caught by the taunt. And Ying gets a double. 4-0 and 1 to start game number 6.
Darn, I really thought Sawo was going to be able to get out of there in time, especially since Ying wasn't able to apply the shred onto the correct target, and yet they still got him anyways. 45 seconds left on the clock before their next neutral objective spawns, and I think this is this might just be a game 7 if it keeps going this way. We're already in that 2K dangerous territory, and there's no noticeable power spikes that we have to be aware of here, because Yangon will hit it first every time.
A 2,000 gold lead. Now this is getting very troublesome for Team Spirit.
Yeah,
and lead is on Ying on the Dairoth. This guy's gonna start bursting people down, and not to mention, again, the fact that he should actually just be the support in this game. He should just be the support for Han to get those knockout strikes.
Yeah, but that's the truth of it all. That's really the truth. I mean, he could technically be like a cleanup crew at the end because he has his flicker and the ult, but now that he's 4-0-1, you might as well take full control.
Sawo with the taunt just to escape. Han with the rotation, and now take a look at Ying. I think just one jump and a basic attack and send Sunset Lover back to base.
Yep, it's too tough to contest for this neutral objective. Oh!
No, there you go. Flicker Raptor Dryad from Blink. Kaize is the one who picks up the kill, and it's another death on Sunset Lover. Sour able to go for the iframes, but now he's going to be the all-in from Ying. He goes in for the damage. Sour low! Revitalize comes around with Bomba. And Sour gets out.
And this is why it's dangerous, especially for a winning lane Dairoth. Once he has that lead, once he has that snowball on top of it all, and a Sky Piercer coming in from Hans, like, it is clear. Ying's whole job, shred, play as much damage as possible, and shred as many targets as you can from Team Spirit's side, and hopefully Han should clean up the rest.
AOG responded over by the Flicker, Guile and Ryu down below.
Yeah, I mean, the Street Fighter gang looking for a T2 down on that bot side. It's forcing a reaction coming out from Team Spirit.
Hey, wait a second. They with the dash, Cyclone Eye, bringing him to a place that you shouldn't want to be, but they get out. They have to burn a flicker, but, you know, they get out.
It's not bad. It's not bad. Yangon were definitely in Team Spirit's basement there for a while, but they managed to sneak their way back out. And for now, TS, it's all about scaling at this stage. Zara, I don't think he can really contest it at this stage, not until he gets the War Axe, and even then, I feel like it might just delay his overall power spike. But then nobody else has much of a lead. Even Hiko doesn't have much of a lead.
Yep. But the thing is, whenever you have a Melissa, you can still just play in the late game, right? We saw that from Vitality as well against Falcons when they were down, what, 5,000-6,000 gold in the early game. They could still just wait for the Melissa to scale, then play front to back. Then it's all about Zaur looking for those angles, but look at this lead. 1,200 gold lead in between the XP laners. Then it's just everybody who's up ahead, 500, 600.
Yeah, they're just stacking up as much of the lead as they possibly can here. They might find something else. His Blink, he's looking for an opportunity.
Good taunt of disengage, but Zaur's still going to be caught. Oh, he doesn't even have the iframes. It was on cooldown. Zaur trying to save him now. He puts himself in 1v5. It's a double for Han, and he has a Sky Piercer.
Man, that was a bad direction to actually go for the dashes. He double dashed away from Sawo when he should have gone around Sawo back into his own territory. That probably should have been it. Without the combo points, without the iframes, he just can't get out. He just doesn't have the cooldowns yet to be able to make these super plays like he has done earlier in the series. At this stage, it's starting to get a little dangerous because Yangon, we've seen them with a 5.5k lead. They are looking for everything across the map, every tier 1.
6,000 gold ahead. Hiko. Oh man, even on the turret, it's Hiko losing out of the trade, and Zaur gonna be extra careful, my guy. Oh god, that was just one strike. That was just one skill too.
Yeah, and they're saving the combo here, making sure that they're threatening them through their life totals. But just the raw sustain coming up from Yangon's, it's becoming really, really difficult to keep on contesting, because as much as you want to wait for your cooldowns to come back off, it doesn't matter if you're not getting yourself that net profit. And now let's look at the items real quick, because Sawo smartly enough decides to go at least to get the Chastised Pauldron. The War Axe is still underway here. Okay, Sawo should be fine, but they don't get the AOG out of him just yet.
Oh, even with the dive on Sawo, revitalized there, and the Rathan tried as well, but that's going to be the all-in double already. Go away right there, Sunset Lover able to peel them all down. The falling Star Moon locks him, but there's no damage. Bomba taken out by Han Ying. On their turret, Hiko picking up the kill, flickers out of safety, and finally is able to get a kill on board for Team Spirit.
Yep, and they're also going to get the holy shielding by the mid lane.
Wow.
Everything that could have gone right for Yangon Galacticos have gone right. And better yet, hey Ying, don't let you give the shutdown. It's fine. It's completely okay. Great shred as it was applied on the multiple frontliners, and more importantly, Zara. He just doesn't have the cooldowns to keep iframing forever here. But the worst part about it is that when you think that the Wrath of Dryads is just done, all of a sudden you start seeing Kaise just saying, you know what, slow down or completely stop. Halt right there.
Hope still in the air for Team Spirit. It's so low, but there is still hope because of that shutdown. Now it's all on Hiko. Their wave clear, not that good. So they're gonna have to sacrifice a few more structures as YG secure the Lord for free. As YG have 40 stacks on Han Skypiercer.
Yep, he's so huge right now. This is gonna be the strongest point for him in this game. It's only going to get worse for the side of TS. They need to drag this out for another 4 more minutes to get Zara back into position, and I think more importantly for Hiko to finish off his items. 50 stacks already, Malefic Roar already purchased, and a War Axe currently underway.
It's 50. It's not even 40, it's 50. Okay. A siege in the mid lane. Lord gonna be pulled out. Bomba, purify out. Sawo with the AOG, able to land on 2, but now he's gonna get bursted down with the Wrath of the Dryad, locking him down. It's Hiko with the muddles, not doing any damage. Sunset taken out by Han. Go away already by Hiko. He's able to find some damage right now as he goes on to Han and falling Star Moon. He's able to lock him down, but it's not. Blazing duet from Sanjay!
And they find it! Zara the next to fall, and Yangon Galacticos make it even faster! 11K ending, guess what? 10! That's all we need!
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to a Game 7!
What an incredible series this has been. Fast, very, very quick, but statements have been thrown back and forth between both of these teams at the very pinnacle of Mobile Legends esports. God, what a showing!
Of course, it had to be a best of 7 going all the way. Of course, MSC EWC 2026 continues to surprise, continues to shock everybody who's watching. And man, what a show. Sure, it's not the closest of games to get us to Game 7. It's been Stomp 1, then Yangon with a Stomp, then Spirit with a Stomp. It's just going back and forth, but now, finally, it's back-to-back for YG.
Yup, finally they've evened up this score somehow. I thought maybe with the draft order, the TS was going to find something else, but Yangon still have some soul left in them. Team Spirit, they gotta pull it together here. They're getting a little nervous. They gotta even understand that the momentum is starting to build up for the Galacticos.
I have no words.
Could they have written a better story here today? We're gonna bask in just the thought of that as we throw it back over to our analysts and, of course, Rain Day.
Bang, bang. We got ourselves a Game 7 here at MSC 2026 with the Lenovo Legion Gauntlet. The trophy. These two teams are a photo finish away from right in the middle. The hopes of a nation, Myanmar, represented by YG and EECA, now starting to, for the first time, look a bit doubtful if they can close the job. However, this is what we hope for as neutral fans, as those who love seeing esports, who love moments like this. This is what you wish for, Brigitte. And LaFell, I know that despite you wanting to stand up out of your chair, well, I guess you could stand up. You do it pretty well. There is a nation in Myanmar who is looking at this saying, we've reached the grand finals already. It was an M2. we have finally given ourselves a chance to become the new era, the new heroes of MLBB.
Oh yeah, that was a terrifying performance. We definitely got to see from that game number 6. That was a Dairoth who they literally took a risk with because it was a do or die.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can't spell Dairoth without die. And that's what he gave to Team Spirit there because let me just say.
Not wrong.
Since MSC has been so good anyways, we got to go all out. We got to go all the way to Game 7. This is why I say good luck to the rest of the games at EWC, man. I mean, like...
Yeah, it's tough, man.
We got the viewership, we got the games, we got the action, we got the jokes.
It's going to be tough. I'm not going to lie. Been some great games, great competitions across the board, but this one certainly has got to be up there with the best of the best. Heck, it's one of the best in MLBB international history. Especially for these 3 weeks in France, I don't know where else you would have put your attention to say a Game 7, this level of competition, this comeback, this amount of money on the line for this, I would say, group of gentlemen who aren't established pros for 17, 15 years. Some of the people in other MOBAs have been there forever. These guys are still young gentlemen building their lives. $1 million now stands between them and one game of Mobile Legends.
Yeah, and one of the youngest.
Yeah, the youngest.
Part of this tournament, Zar Egoist, that was painful to watch. That was painful for him. It was a game where he could barely do anything, and you could see it even the post-game stats. He only got like, what, 2 orange buffs towards his side, and the rest were just all over to Yangon. He was clearly denied of the kind of performance that we've seen from him time and time again throughout this best of 7.
Well, Ying has given us so many now nicknames. I'm sure online you guys have already started coming up with new nicknames for Ying, whether it's Undying, whether it's Terrifying.
He's defying expectations.
Whether it's defying, and I think expectations versus reality was a little bit of a theme earlier. We saw it's not Indonesia, it's not the Philippines, it's Myanmar and EECA. They have given us the show that we were hoping for. Yangon Galacticos on the Arlet, on the Dairoth. Ying has been special regardless, LaFell.
I mean, like, honestly, at this point, I mean, we've been setting this up, I think even like day 3 of MSC, where the EXP laners, they are providing so much for the team. In this case, Ying is special because game number 1 is a lot of chase and crowd control. And game number 2 is a lot of chase as well as damage. Like, this guy, having that Dairoth is risky in the sense that if you lose your lane, there's not much you can do. So it's a good thing that he won the lane and then expanded it to all across the map.
Yeah.
You talk about taking that risk in Game 7. You talk about what was on the line, in Game 6. It leads us to a Game 7. But how did they do it? How was it so successful? Under 11 minutes that they won that game. Walk us through it, LaFell.
Well, I'm going to let my partner do this one because...
Did you say partner?
Briggs is amazing analyst.
America.
I'm just a chair.
Hey, okay, I think I can hold my mic.
She did.
I mean, if you want me to, I can. But
it's okay.
All right. Well, now I know where I stand.
About draft? Do you want to say anything about draft, or do we just
it's all you. It's all you.
Okay, let's just move on.
The only thing is they gave homage to Rosa and Midnight, so shout out on that.
Okay, I'm gonna press that.
Shout out on the Rafa pick.
Yeah.
Rafaela.
But I think, at least in this game, you left us with a question of how they were able to accomplish this.
Yes.
11-minute win. And it sucks to say, but I think it was mostly really off of a huge error that started this game from Team Spirit. Because you take a look at this clip that we're looking at right now. Mind you, this was right before Sunset Lover and Sao were actually rotating from mid, and they had full information that no one was there, that their matchup wasn't there, that probably Blink and Kaize were elsewhere, and they still decided to go for this rotation. If you take a look at where Zar Egoist was trying to move,
you sure you don't want me to hold the mic?
Where's the zoom in? Where's the zoom in? Oh, here. If you take a look at how Zar Ego... This is not working.
She took it from you so well too, and now she needs you.
Okay, come on. Let's go. Let's split it back. So, if you take a look at how Zar Ego still decided to utilize that information, I think prior that he already saw Han. And he probably went into that thinking that it was just Han. But it was clear that it wasn't just Han. So you see how the game or how the team fight actually turned. Eventually, it was a first blood over to Undying, and he didn't just get one kill off of that. He also got Sao, who just really wanted to help. And this was the beginning of a snowball. I feel like if you were the Rafaela at this point, you could just immediately switch your attention towards, let's just keep on building up Ying, because he's already taken a huge part of the early game, and that's where they've just decided to continue and proceed with the snowball. We have another clip here, which I think is just an emphasis on how Ying was just a huge problem here, and I will be giving it over to my partner for this one.
I mean, you don't have to. Okay, thank you very much. So this is where we see the draft really shines because of that Rafaela. Rafaela is really a big piece here, because the thing that we have to look at is the fact that Ying is fearless in this one, where he can engage into the fight. Because again, looking at the positions coming in from the rest of Yangon Galacticos, is we really got to highlight how Sanji is basically untouched on this Claude, and all the while, look at Kaize. Kaize's positioning is he is in the middle of everyone, right? He is in optimal position to provide heal as well as slow down the enemy team. And this is why having that Rafaela in the mid really makes very fast games, because it makes it so that it's hard for you to make a mistake. Like you have to overextend so hard that you somehow die and give the advantage over to your opponent. So this is one of the strengths when you get I would say, a very offensive draft, having two fighters. Doesn't matter if it's EXP Gold or Jungle, EXP, whatever. As long as you have the Rafaela there, you can keep on fighting, extend the lead, and end the game before 12.
Which is very unfortunate. Honestly, we didn't really see Kaize being as efficient.
Oh, sorry.
You're pressing it. You're still pressing it. Because at least before that face check we got to see from Zar, you saw how aggressive Spirit were. They were just forcing flickers out of even the Rafaela from Kaize. They were constantly going for the invades. And I guess it was a bit too much aggression.
Maybe.
That led them to this spot.
And I think that might have been something that Cold Star was mentioning. You saw the reaction when you see the Rafaela. He mentioned something very quickly, very intensely to his team. It might have just been, rah, go ahead, get a win. But it could have also been, guys, we got to make sure this Rafaela does not get off to a good lead. We need to force pressure onto the Dairoth. We can't let this happen. And maybe that's why, because Zaur doesn't make those early mistakes like that very often.
We got to look at the numbers here. 32,000 heal, that's actually quite a lot, and also just shows how much fighting that they had. I mean, like, about 14 of the fights is involved with Kaize, 82% kill participation. But this is a support, and he dealt 23,000 damage. So it's not like he did nothing when it comes to chipping the HP of Team Spirit. But with that being said, this is match point, and now we got to look at Kip Bomba as well as Ying. Whoever wins the lane wins the game.
And at this point, that's not surprising.
I see what you did there. Did you see what surprise?
Listen, I'm trying to add a little bit more, guys. You know, I love the way that this game has shifted.
I love you.
And I love you too. But it's been a little bit like quicksand for some teams. They've fallen into the pit, and then they couldn't get out. But sometimes the real way to actually get out of quicksand is to move very slowly, and it's to shift your weight. And so in my opinion, what happened was the weight was falling onto Sanji a lot. They were picking Claude early, and then they shifted the weight back onto Ying, and they said, Ying, do what you do best. Do what got you the nickname. Do what got us here. And now I feel like they're out. They're even. They're flat. But the problem is, how do you avoid falling in? Because Team Spirit have now seen it twice. Maybe they were the ones who represent the quicksand here. They've had power. They've given it away. They're wanting to set something up yet again. And a lot of the cards have been laid on the table. The Arlot's been banned. The Paquito's been left out. I'm setting this up because there is sometimes so much that's happened, Brig, that it's not about anything anymore. It's just about showing up for this one game. Get a lineup you feel comfortable with and outplay your opponents. Is that as simple as it is?
I think it's Game 7. Yes. It's a simple answer to what Yangon has been lacking in this previous series. Because even if you base it off their more earlier and first games and series and appearances here, it's always been Ying who's been the more creative player. He's been the person who can afford to really pull off these more unorthodox picks, and they've been making it work. They've been utilizing the Barretts, the Ruby even, and now the Dairoth. And I think that in turn, that shift allowed for Sanji to breathe a little bit more, to just play towards his comfort, to just do what he has to do in lane. But that will just hopefully not become too much pressure on Ying, because there's just so much that he has to do, especially in this crucial Game 7.
Well, gentlemen, and yes, Brigitte, you're also a gentleman.
Fellas,
this is where
bros.
This is where coaches earn their paycheck.
That's right.
Because it's not just the draft, but also how do you calm your team down? We even had an interview where
Goldstar's massaging
where
Sunset Lover, by
Eterna
the way.
was talking to one of the coaches like, my job is to keep them mentally well. And let me just say, this is why I like my job, because Rain Day asks a lot of questions, but let's be real, none of that is my problem. It's a problem that the teams have to solve, and because of that, I don't give a crap. Right now, I'm just enjoying the game. Like, this is the moment after the draft. Let me tell you, I'm just gonna be a fan. I don't care what's happening.
And that's the beauty, guys, because Game 7, it's like we've all thrown punches. It is the 12th round. You know, the bell tolls, and you're just like, who is going to take it? It is about grit, it's endurance, it's strength, but it's more than that. It's spirit, it's perseverance, it's opportunity, and sometimes it's destiny. We said there is a new era.
Yep.
We said there would be a new chapter written. We already know that. But what is the difference in all the big moments? And you go back again, the Odyssey, a movie everyone's seeing nowadays. You see these big impact moments that change the course of civilization. And when you break it down to the course of esports, there are these one games, these one picks that go, whether it's going to be Myanmar, who are your new champions, or whether it's going to be EECA. Is it going to be Kid Bamba that goes into the crowd hugging his mom, or is it going to be Ying holding up that MVP trophy and undying, becoming the name that echoes around not only Paris, but across all of Myanmar for years to come?
I do have to say, the thing that I like is that I feel like a new chapter has already been written, but like you said, winning this one, I don't see how the domino effect is going to happen. Like, this is such new territories. For sure, whether YG or Team Spirit wins, it will change MLBB. I just don't know how yet.
Same. I don't know what's next. That's the thing. I don't know what's next, how the other regions will adjust, how they will adapt or pick up some of the learnings that we got from this tournament even. Because we've been so used to something different, but they're not doing something different. It's a Pakiro that again came in as one of the biggest surprise adjustments from YG.
Wow.
We probably are going to see it again in jungle, but it's pretty much the exact same draft. They're not changing as much.
If they don't pick up Rafa is going to get banned, but they may have something else up their sleeve. And by the speed of how both teams have drafted, I feel like both teams have agreed as like, this is our best draft. We just made that one mistake where we, well, basically Zaur walked in blind into two people ganking him. They're just like, let's not do that anymore, and then we can win.
So is it just the Rafa? Because the Dyroth is also still available, but it's not like they know that there's an Esmeralda coming up, but they decide to take it out altogether. So they're just probably going to go all in. They don't want to react to the matchup anymore. They want to play comfort. So if that's the case, could we be looking at maybe even a disruptor hero again for Ying? There's the Arlott still.
No Arlott available. I mean, they're not going to give it, and that's smart. But now the Uranus question comes up. Do you ban Uranus, or do you leave it open and you kind of predict that most likely, if it is open, it's something that Bamba would be comfortable grabbing? That gives you some more information on the side of YG, but it's a risky bet because of the Esmeralda ban.
Yeah, because you don't get the matchup into the Uranus anymore, so you'll have to settle with something different. I mean, I think you can still Dyroth into the Uranus, but again, considering that the Rafa might get banned or not, because we don't know if Spirit are really looking to take it out. Okay, they just both take out the Esmeralda and Uranus. That's why. So it's really going to be an XP showdown, regardless of what the picks are going to look like.
And I feel like this is their way of opening up the Pakito. It doesn't have to be in the jungle now. Now without the Uranus as well as the Esme, makes it so that they can put it in the EXP if they so choose.
That is a great point, because it was too clear that he might lose that matchup against Esmeralda last time. Now it's not. Dyroth ban, which they're respecting, which means I think they understand this Rafaela could come out, but if it does, I would bet the Cold Star and Team Spirit have an answer now.
I mean, like, they can pick the Rafa now, and then after seeing the entire draft, they can make the decision. Where does this Pakito go? But instead, they pick up the Selena. So, interesting adjustment here.
Kaise, is it his first time? It's his first time on the Selena, right?
I think they used it earlier, game 2.
At least in the series,
Maybe game 2.
There's so much new things being introduced to us here by YG. drafting-wise.
But these two break. I mean, Galacticos didn't do enough. That was what was picked. How deep are we going into the Roam? How deep are we going into the XP? Those are the only two picks here.
Are they going back to the Lapu? Because again, there's
I like
a lot.
That. Phoveus too.
I mean, I don't want to see the Phoveus again, considering that. I mean, like, they don't have a... Okay, so yeah, the Gato picked up as well as the Lapu.
Okay.
So this is just saying, like, dude, you're pretty good at this hero. Could you do it again?
Yeah. So the question of where the Pokito is actually going to be will be answered here. Do they feel like they're still lacking in terms of front, or do they want to just double down on damage? Because I think there's a lot.
They can go for some... Okay, they go for the Suyo.
Oh, man.
Because I was about to say, this Pokito can go either way. Even in... You know what?
Come
no more thoughts.
Baby.
No more thoughts.
Come on, guys.
Whatever happens, happens. Congrats to the champion, because this is going to be a good one.
You could feel it in the arena. LaFell and Brig have given you their thoughts, but at this point, they're just fans. So am I here as well. It's a Game 7 at MSC. EWC 2026 has not disappointed, and you can't ask for anything better to end this tournament. Yangon Galacticos, first team Spirit, Game 7. Let's go!
Today we bear witness to history. One match, one opportunity. Who is it going to be? Is it Team Spirit, or is it going to be the Yangon Galacticos as we go into our very final match? Yangon, they're showing a different side of their draft, but even for Team Spirit, the bans tell you a lot. The amount of respect that both of our warriors have put here today will not be forgotten in our history books of MLBB esports.
And you got to take those gambles in a Game 7. You can't just play around comforts. Well, you can, but obviously, look at this composition. YG again, they pull off a composition, that unorthodox all-in style from the match, or the game rather, that we saw against Falcons. It was all in, no frontliner. It's just Blink.
Really is just Blink so far. And I mean, the early game is going to determine everything that's going to happen. And Sawa understands when he is playing on this Gato, there's a lot of work that he has to do in these early moments. Every position that he takes could be the end for them. But I like the fact that, at least for the side of Team Spirit, despite building their composition in a style where it's definitely having to play around Hiko, they still are willing to take the Lapu on their side to make sure that nobody can get to Hiko safely. Not without committing everything they got.
This time around, it's still the same idea. Sanji would walk up again on Hiko. This lane should be good for the Claude, and so far he's done an amazing job at capitalizing on that. Now the fight, Gold Crab goes to Sanji. It's all about these small wins.
Talking about small wins here, Ying getting shoved in pretty hard, knowing that a lot of the forces of TS have come down to his side lane. Any little advantage could be the difference maker here. And you can see that showing presence makes a huge difference. Now they're going to go for their traditional rotate over into the mid lane to get Sunset Lover as close to 4 as possible. And now that Kid Bomba is for himself, he wants to maintain pressure.
So far, Kaize hasn't landed a single Abyssal arrow at the start of the game. That's going to be the bravest fighter from Bomba, zoning Han away. Blade Surge Blink out of the way. Ying making his way back in again. The Retribution from Zaur, claiming the first turtle of game number 7.
Very tactical, very clean for the side of TS. We don't need to take unnecessary fights. We just need to be together. And now First Blood achieved instantaneously. A good arrow coming in from Kaize.
Kaize hasn't played a single Selena game this tournament, and he decides to play it in game 7. One arrow landed, a kill right after. Instant capitalization as YG look to play it slow. They look for those pickoffs, and it's about map control.
And so far, I mean, we need to see Ying do a lot more on his side of the map if they want to at least fight for the next turtle, right? That's the thing. So far, it's about intercepting for the side of the Yangon Galacticos. If they can slow down the rotations coming in from TS, then they get tempo, they get that first move. And we've seen teams, that alpha strike that Yangon Galacticos are so capable of with a composition that really benefits that style.
Now it's about that build. How do they play the neutral game when nothing is available? Rapid trying to the flicker. Blink able to find it, but now it's going to be the Blaze Surge on Sawo. Instant taunt cancels it. Sawo, the AOG gets out just in time, barely with a sliver of health.
Nicely done. Very, very nicely done here. There was a moment, a frame, a singular frame that Sawo was able to buffer out the AOG. The chain CC was really, really good, and honestly, the execution from Yangon was there. Unfortunately, they just didn't have enough stats to close it out. Back to the EXP, nothing much is happening here. Both Ying and Kid Bomba are playing a very neutral game. Ying will get first push most of the time, but he's never going to be able to tax Bomba.
There you go, this is the moment, man. Great cancels all around. Sunset Lover providing support, just not in range, but Sawo, he found the angle, he found that sliver, that window to go in. Zaur again, trying to go for the clear, or the secure rather, on the green camp. Up top, it's Sawo, helping Hiko out in this lane. Turtle gonna be spawning in 3 seconds, and it's TS with the tempo.
Interesting. They're also bringing Hiko in for this potential fight. He's running the Purify as of right now, but he's going to be the safe haven that TS needs to fall back to. Sunset Lover is going to eat the Abyssal Arrow, but here we go.
Arrow lands on Zaur. Bomba with the body block as Sawo is able to zone blink away, and that's going to be the second neutral objective for free to Team Spirit. Han able to go for the trade. It's a purple buff stolen away up top.
Now, these are the small little advantages that we were talking about here, right? Both sides refuse to give the lead up over to the other side, and naturally TS trying to play as a singular unit while Yangon Galacticos are looking for chinks in the armor. Now, with the vision that we are getting from Kai's, he is very aware of the rotations coming in from Zaur Egoist. Oh, Ying.
Blade Surge from Han providing support. Throws out the Queller, lands it on Bomba. A chunk of HP away. Now in the mid lane is going to be the Muddles to take Blink to half HP. Abyssal Arrow lands, but it's only onto Sawo. Now in the bottom lane is going to be the jungle. Oh, Retry win for Han with that second skill, Sky Piercer.
Sky Piercer, rather interesting, but now as we see Sanji get out of the way here, and we're also seeing Hunter Strike being built by Ying as first item, not even opting to go Fury Hammer into War Axe. No, it just needs the instantaneous burst.
We have to pull out the items. We have to see what items Bomba has gone for as well, because there's so much damage physical from YG. Bomba needs that Dreadnought armor or he's going to get popped.
The motions on the map is already telling us something here, right? We're already seeing that Ying has moved over into the mid lane, but the rest of the team is trying to cover for a potential attack from the side of TS. They read it out very, very well to clear out the Lethal Wanderer, to deny that vision. Unfortunately, oh, wait, hold on.
This is a deep cut. This is a greedy cut.
This might be too deep, actually.
He dashes away, has a Bravest Fighter, is able to bait some resources, but it's going to be the Bravest Fighter on cooldown, though.
And also the Retribution as well, right? So now 15 seconds left.
Blink flickers too. TS with a small win. Set up by Bomba, another flicker.
They graze the chin. They graze the chin, and now they have an opportunity. Sanji is out of there. This should be a no contest unless they get hit by an Abyssal Arrow and gets one shot. But Sunset's Lover is still holding on to the Wrath of the Dryads. It's still 50-50 here.
Let's see it. He go to the Muddles. Wrath of the Dryad already baited. Zaur walks up again, is able to go for the untargetable. Han gonna be taking a half HP as Bomba walks in with Bravest Fighter! Then he picks up the kill. Now onto Kaise he goes. 3 turtles, all at TS.
Oh! And they go even further underneath the turret. They take him out. Sunset Lover kills Sanji.
Team Spirit have been on the back foot the last 2 games. Game 5, Game 6, it was a YG stop. Team Spirit in this game, through the neutral objectives they played, they waited, they built those small wins, and then it exploded on YG.
You can feel the frustration, you can feel the history in their movements. They understand what this game means to not only them, but every sacrifice they've made up until this point. God given or not, right now, that's all they've got to be. They just have to have some faith that every move is going to work out. Looking at the items finally, thank you Zipper. We already see no completed items actually for the side of Han.
Bomba with a stun with a Bravest Fighter. That's going to be the taunt coming down as well, but that's going to be Sunset with a walk up, and that's going to be Bomba with a bit more damage. Hiko lands the Muddles, goes in and finds the kill on Blink.
Get the trade. And on the opposite side, Ying tries his best, but no, Zaur able to iframe out of there, still having that level lead.
He can't go for this.
No, it's dangerous. They know that he's going to instantly get there, and Zaur, he's already on top of it. At this stage, TS, they're now starting to probe in enemy territory to see what's going to go happen. But, ooh, man, there's a lot of like weird moments in this game, especially from Yangon. Sometimes it's like they forget, oh yeah, we can't really force without our battle spells. So I think Yangon, they just need to take a step back. It's about the timing of when they attack, not how hard they hit.
Catching your opponents off guard. That's when the knockout happens. It's the punches you don't see, and YG definitely didn't see that. Now, did he see this? Han walks up to aggressive 3 members of Spirit Corral.
That's creativity there. Again, TS not only taking into account the habits that have been made and little details in this game, but now they're getting really personal with each other, really taking into the account which camp he wants to be on and how he likes to chain his abilities.
Bamba. The Bravest Fighter again on Blink. Now the muddle's coming down as well as the sun doesn't land, but that's the Abyssal Arrow set. Oh, Sour, Retry.
Close, very, very close. And even Ying was looking to get into position, but unfortunately could not find the angle at this point of time. Technicality from TS is immaculate here. And now they are really finding their motion with the next 2 item purchases, the Golden Staff and that Lightning Truncheon coming in from Sunset Lover. Kaise, he's got to be very, very careful jumping into these fights. The same can be said about Han. Ying has been a little out of it for a good amount of time, which is rather surprising. I would have imagined that he would be there in first position.
Team Spirit with the lore, they have good siege as well. And YG, their clear is not that good. They have a Paquito that can go to the side lanes, but when it comes to dealing with the Lord, they're going to have to just group up together, and that means it's an opening for Bamba, it's an opening for Sunset Lover if he steals it, and Sour with the AoE as well. And you can see it right here. YG just got to respect it. Hiko in the bottom lane, sending Blink away. The Missile Arrow lands, but he's going to body block as the sun lands from Bamba, and that's Sunset Lover waiting for a moment. Bamba will Blink around. Han not able to get it as Hiko puts the damage on them with the muddles.
Honestly, not bad, but here comes the second wave, and Hiko is going to start doing it again. Sunset Lover just stole away the Wrath of the Dryads. He's got Flicker, and he's ready to go.
Now with the damage, now with the go-away, Sunset Lover with the Wrath of the Dryad, able to find him now. It's that with the Missile Arrow landing. With the kill. Hiko killing spree, throws it around. Ying up top, running away. It's Bamba with the Bravest Fighter.
They're trying to drag these waves out. They're trying to distract them, but the whole time, Sanji, he's ready to go. Ying, he doesn't mind dying for this. He's ready to put his life on the line to buy Yangon Galacticos a couple more seconds.
Hiko, mega kill, 4-0-2. Kaise finally able to get that arrow on a perfect target. It was Zaur, it was Sunset that got caught. No bounty, however, it's only on Hiko.
Man, really high intensity game, man. I can feel it up into my chest. The atmosphere in here, that's so many of these dangerous moves. I can't believe they haven't lost confidence in a lot of these motions. Yangon say, you know what? We have terrible wave clear, but if we cut the wave and we start pulling it out, we just bought ourselves another ticket at another Lord fight. They haven't lost any of their inhibitors. They lost the shielding, unfortunately, but what can you do?
Now it's... Oh! The orange secure by Kaise. Really coming online now in the 10th minute of the game. These arrows are going to start to hurt, and if Kaise can find yet another one on a big target, it could send YG back to level playing field. Bamba taking it very low. Sanji already right there, but the BMI sends him back. He needs to play it safe.
Yeah, I think he needs to reset or at least find a wave to actually, heal himself back up to where he needs to be. 15 seconds left on the neutral objective. Before that Lord spawns, we need to see Hiko lose out on his Purify if Yangon stands any chance. Wait, hold on. Kid Bamba already trying to engage Blink. He's in trouble!
The models in the back. Sawa able to get the taunt. Sanji's right there, and that's going to be hard. Although Bamba!
And they catch him! Double kill for Zaur Egoist! This Lord should be free! And the question is, TS, you taking the discipline route, or are you going for the throw? Because they're looking to open up the inhibitor first.
It's the Dragon Siege. Once again, Hiko with the muddle, zoning them away. Han and Blink both down. Ying in the bottom lane. Again, they are going to play it safe. Zaur was already on the Lord. They just cracked the base open. They recall and they reset.
And that's an elbow right to the temple there. Yangon Galacticos now have to worry about constantly pushing mid-wave during these neutral objectives. And worse yet, with a 7.1k lead, is it inevitable, or can there be the tempo breaker that they've been praying for?
YG have to defend. It's another siege. They have to find a creative way to the back. That's the only way, but then there's a Wind of Nature. Then there's a go-away. Then there's Sawa, who's constantly behind. How do they do this?
One arrow could make the difference here. They need to find it somewhere, somehow. Kaise is looking for an angle, but TS, they are spreading very, very wide to ensure that there's no way that that's possible. Now with the Abyssal Traps as well, trying to slow down that wave. It doesn't actually connect on the wave, and now here they go!
Bundle's already placed. Lord going to be dealt with now with the wave in the bottom lane, and the top lane is going to come crashing down. That's a base sword up top. Hiko with a dash away from the Abyssal Arrow. Now, one final wave in the bottom lane, but Ying is caught all alone. Sawa with the chase with the AOG.
And Ying, he's able to delay this wave, and that's perfect because look at that top side. Instantly, we're seeing Han is able to do something else. He trades his life for something greater than himself, but it's not over just yet. That wave is still healthy. They still have the siege, and they even absorb the Abyssal Arrows. It didn't connect.
It did, and now the models are landing. Hiko dodges away, gets some shots on Kaise. So severed from Han, clears out the wave. They stay alive. YG.
Oh my goodness, this game could not get more exciting. I'm already off my seat. My knees are getting weak. My arms are heavy watching this match progress. And yet, I think it's going to come down to whether or not Blink can find a super engagement or whether Sunset Lover can finally get a punish onto YG.
I think for Team Spirit, they don't need to go for any risks. It's YG right now that needs to look for a wild haymaker to knock Spirit out. Spirit can just build. They've got the points. They got an 8.5k gold lead. Waves to play with. A Lord spawning. All they need to do is suffocate YG. Don't give them anything to farm up. The wave up top and the mid lane, it's a guaranteed. Slow pushing anyways, but the bottom wave, keep it right there. The jungle, take it all, snatch it all away from YG.
Yep, they don't. YG unfortunately can't just sit there and take it. They're already in the guard of TS, but they cannot give under their throat. They can't give their backs up as well. They're willing to sacrifice an arm and a leg, but if that's the necessary cost to win the fight, then so be it. For now, Sawa has been playing a very, very tight game with his engages not only being immaculate, but denying a lot of the space for Han.
Big pickup, Divine Blade for Sunset Lover. Now Blink, the only frontliner, is going to have even more trouble to deal with the damage output from Spirit.
Well, Sanji, he's going to have to try his best here, and I totally understand.
Arrow lands.
No. They still got plenty of bodies there. They're going to cover for him every single time, even if it slips on through.
Blink! Right for the Dryad, baits out the Purify. That could be the angle. Now the Bravest Fighter from Bamba is going to be jumping into bottles. Won't be able to land with a stun. It's a big resource burnt out with a Purifier, but it's a flicker out for Blink.
And they got nothing out of Team Spirit. The Abyssal Arrows are now getting denied away. Kaise, he's going to try.
The arrow lands. No Purify. Sanji can go in. Kaise! Go away, coming out from Hiko as he butts into Muddles, but that's to the back line. Sunset Lover finds Han.
And now they want to go for a little bit more. He pushes him out. Kaise, again, he tries his absolute best. They got what they were looking for, but the Lord and 0 kills for the side of Yangon Galacticos. TS, this could be it. They've been waiting for this for too long.
Bomba right there. Sanji with the BMI into the bottom lane, but the wave up top is going to be good. AOG coming out, and Sanji's going to be dealing with the wave in the bottom lane, but that's going to be the burst damage for Ying to be taken out. Blink next to the jumping bomb. Bomba! Jumps in with a stun. Sanji right there, but it's not enough.
Every great legend starts with an impossible dream.
Remember tonight. Remember when the dragons first took flight.
An apex predator arises.
The dragons have awoken.
Team Spirit are your champions. Congratulations to EECA. They walk away shattering dreams, but accomplishing something bigger than themselves. Every sacrifice given today, every blood, sweat, and tear for this moment.
MSC has never seen a champion from outside of Southeast Asia. This year, we were heading out to Paris. From Saudi, from Cambodia, from regions of the past, no team has wandered this far, but Spirit have done it.
That being said, congratulations to Team Spirit. We're throwing it over the roads for that championship moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, your newest champion of MSC at EWC. Give it up for Team Spirit! Boys, Congratulations! What a journey you guys have been through. However, before we even continue with our trophy lift, we are first going to crush some keys. So if you guys could follow me to our key crusher over here at the back. Come on over, guys. Emotions are overpouring today. I have a question. Who wants to be crushing the key?
Me and Sao together.
Sunset Lover and Sao. This is a historic moment for the EECA region. Their debut in M1. And now, finally, they are international champions as well. As Sawa and Sunset Lover are getting ready to crush some keys, the emotions are overpouring here on the stage. And there you guys have it. Team Spirit is your champions this MSC. Dropping and sending Yangon Galacticos home as the second. This has been a moment everybody has been waiting for. Such a feat for the EECA region. And there you guys have it. All right, guys, if we can now head on over to the front. It is time to claim what is yours. Make your way over to your trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Team Spirit. You may raise your trophy in 3, 2, 1. Such a historic day for the world